making vaccines mandatory for all adults.
Oh, that's fun. So how does that fall in line with other people? Oh, I guess, well, no, that makes sense because, Schmittler, towards the end, was in his bunker and just saying crazy things and giving crazy orders. So they're just following his lead when everybody else is retreating. We will never retreat! Fegelein! Fegelein!
Well, I don't think, you see, here's what I think. If we're going down the Nazi angle, right? If this is really what's going on, then it's possible that Austria and Germany are not German enough for the Nazis. You know why? Because they were the German people have been polluted by the inferior swine genes of the Slavs that came. Right?
They have been polluted. And now we must get rid. And now we must put nanobots in all of them to retrain them how to be.
The nanobots will put their genetics in order like it was before.
Yes, we are very orderly
swine
people.
Inferior Slavs came.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing how these people just did not go away. They did not go away.
If Herr Hitler only had nanobots to work with, we would have been in a better situation now.
If only my father had built for him nanobots instead of nuclear weapons, we would be in a much better place with the great Schmiset. We would greatly reset. What the heck? Do you know this term called globocap? What is this? This dude.
Never heard it.
Huh?
I never heard it.
It's like it's apparently like a some kind of here. It's an acronym or like a term for something.
Globocap?
Cap. Yeah, here. Pathologized, hold on a second. Totalitarianism. So basically it's like global cap, I guess, is global capitalists. Globalist capitalists, okay. It's
global. Okay, I hear it now.
Globo. Like GL, yeah, there you go. GLOBO. Cap is done playing grab ass. They have had it with all this populism malarkey that has been going on for the last 4 years, writes CJ. There's some guy named CJ Hopkins who writes interesting things. He has a...
Sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, he has a thing called... he has a blog. Oh, this guy is an award-winning playwright, novelist, and political satirist. His plays have been produced and toured at theaters and festivals alongside Riverside Studios, theaters in New York, Edinburgh, and Sydney, the Moria World Stage Festival, la la la. Yeah, he had a dystopian science fiction novel called Zone 23. And he writes for stuff like Consent Factory, Off Guardian, Zero Hedge, Cold Type, Rubicon, RT.com, Counterpunch, Dissident Voice, and many other publications. Interesting. CJ Hopkins.
You know, I was thinking when you said Zero Hedge, that may have sounded familiar, but I just realized that CJ is my brother-in-law's dog. So
that's fun.
That's weird. Yeah. So no, I've never heard it.
Oh, apparently, dude, Israel is getting rid of the Shmasports in 10 days, supposedly. The Tav Yarok. Here. 1 second. 1 second. What the hell is this? You know what? Let me just Google this. Israel Green Pass. No, not the app, you clowns. Here you go. Here you go. Israel's finance minister. Oh, yeah, Lieberman called for the end of the Shmeen Pass. 1 second. I'm asking if this is official. I know Lieberman. Gone. Here it says there's no medical. Okay, we know he said that. Schmieberman. Yeah, during interview with FM 103, Ash warned. Who's Ash? Oh, Nachman Ash, the Health Ministry Director General in Israel. daily cases would increase, and noting that severe cases ended up in hospitalization also rising, but that the increase in severe patients is slowing down. See, they know that most of the people that are in hospital are vaccinated. They know that. They're just not saying. See, it says 498. They don't mention how many of those, you know. Ay, 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 ay. What else? Hold on. I'm trying to get something like that officially says that it's canceled. Like, you know. Not that I'm a big fan of officialdom or anything like that.
It doesn't seem like that's how anything like, you know, a conventional works. It's always going to be like in a very staggered, kind of like little piecemeal way, day by day, you know, and it just, it's very annoying. Yeah. It's very, very annoying.
Yeah. It's just funny how like the people in Israel who were saying that there's going to be a green pass were called conspiracy theorists. It's just astounding to me. It's just really astounding. Here, Hamodia has a... Actually, here. Expert says, la la la. This Cyril Cohen guy in Bar Ilan. This is the guy that said that people 60 and over could be prepared for, like, you know, not get a hospital bed. What a sicko. See, he doesn't even consider, and he's the guy... Yeah, here's what somebody wrote on my wall with regards to this guy. Somebody French, this lady who's French. On his French Facebook, he mocks Professor Didier Raoult. That's who your brother got the idea from, right? About his treatment. And blocks any... Huh?
No, that's not.
Your brother said he quotes him all the time. He mentions him all the time. The French guy.
No, he mentioned them because around the time that my brother was employing this treatment, Didier Raoult was doing something similar, except his results were not as good because he wasn't using zinc, supplemental zinc.
Okay. So here's the thing that says, he mocks Didier Raoult and blocks anybody who asks about early treatment. So no, he would never prescribe you IVM. Somebody asked about IVM. He would just say, I'm sorry, I don't have enough beds for both of you, so I'm forced to help only one of you, and it is your fault. You make me do it. He was born and grew up in Marseille, the city where Professor Raoult had a science research hospital built by the European Union. At the very beginning of the 2020 SARS-CoV crisis, Cyril said he would be happy to pay Didier a visit when he goes back to Marseille. But as soon as Netanyahu put all his bet on Pfizer vaccine, and so, as soon as the establishment started the demolition process of Didier's reputation, Cyril turned his coat really quick and said he wished Didier would just keep quiet, and he blocked anybody who even mentions Didier's name. What a little biznatch.
No, these people, like, they're not... I mean, that guy... I mean, what does he say when he davens? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you daven? You can't daven and be like that.
I don't know. But there's a lot of people who daven and are like that who I've met. There's a lot, there's a lot of
like
them.
Thieves daven, you know, because like when they pray to God that they don't get caught.
Yeah.
Right, but if you're putting on a kippah on your head, and you're there's no way that he wears that because as a Yirat Shemayim. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not. Yeah.
A friend of mine, you know what my friend of mine wrote in response to this? I'll tell you what a friend of mine wrote. It's actually another great response.
Yirat Shemayim is a person who has fear of heaven.
Yeah. He says he writes
for the folks at home.
Yeah. See, my friend wrote. Actually, my friend Yaakov Fauci, who I called the tikkun to Dr. Mousy. This is the guy that we interviewed. My friend and I interviewed. Howard Stern agrees with him. Howard Stern, the radio clown, agrees with this doctor. Also, it figures that he's...
I feel bad for your friend, man. I feel bad for your friend. It's like...
No, we joke. We say that, dude, you're the tikkun. Without you, that Mousy would have full power, full control. You balance out...
but like think about like Adolf Hitler, right? What about his brother, like Klaus, who works at a bakery?
It's like, Klaus Stallone, you know?
He had nothing to do with it. Now, he has to change his last name.
What about Frank Hitler?
Yeah. Mike Hitler.
Who's that guy? Yeah, it's like, what is it? That joke about, Robin Williams about Jesus' brother?
I don't know that one.
Here. Oh my God, you gotta hear this, dude. Hold on, and then I'll continue with here. Jesus, Robin Williams. This is talking about Jesus' brother. Here. Oh crap! I have the. Oh, one second. I had the. Hold on.
And here's the other drill. Jesus was an only child because, thank God, who would want to be Jerry, the brother of Christ? That's a tough gig. Come on, Jerry, we're going to the beach. Oh, great, Mom. Yeah, Jesus is going to walk on the water, feed everybody, heal them, and get a whole bunch of disciples. I'll sit there with a rash and sand in my ass. Great day for me. He ends up in a bar at the age of 30 going, yeah, I'm Jerry Christ. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I healed somebody. His spot. Come on, boy, heal. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, Jesus, he's a carpenter. I'm a plumber. You do the math.
So, my friend wrote, also it figures that he's wearing a kippah. Typical mamlachti behavior. Mamlachti is like the, the Dati Lumi who really believe in the government. Mamlechet,
Okay.
They are all about achavat hinam until they sentence you to death for daring to disagree with them or the policies of their Zionist golden calf. And then another rabbi adds, or when it comes to Haredim. Amazing.
Wait, you broke up a little for a second. What was that?
What is the last thing you heard?
Haredim.
Oh, or he said, or when it comes to Haredim. They're also not so fond. Some of these, state worshipping people.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss Robin Williams, man. I miss that guy. I think they also killed him. So that's a story for another time.
He was not, that's another example of somebody who, we used his illness to entertain ourselves rather than help him.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, when I was in college, took a psychology class, and the teacher was saying, he was explaining certain types of conditions, and he was using Robin Williams as an example of saying, he's suffering from this, from that, classic textbook this, classic textbook that. I don't remember what he's saying.
Yeah.
But otherwise he wouldn't be who he is. So you could see that people like this, they can be functional, they can even be successful.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So, but at the same time, you don't want a career in entertainment is not worth it.
I know. That's what I keep telling my parents. My parents are like, well, how come you never went to this and that and the other? And I was just like, this is they kill you. They will kill you either spiritually or physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah, because that's not an entertainment. That is it's a bureau of propaganda.
It's a bureau of propaganda, and you're just kind of you're doing their bidding, or you're kind of like doing what they want, either doing what they want or not doing what they don't want. You can't just do what you want. And when you see,
they make it art.
As I say, when you're like Dave Chappelle, you're Dave Chappelle, and you come out and you kind of do what you want. They Kenny Rogers roast you.
Yeah.
And not in a funny way. They rotisserie you. And, I don't know. People always ask me, Tzvi, how come you stopped doing... I did 3 stand-up shows, Tzvi, how come you didn't continue? I had little friends that were they saw my thing. They were like, dude, you're my first ever one. People thought I was doing this for a few years already. After my first one. And it's not that I was doing it for a few years. I was just copying... Not copying. I had been watching stand-up for a very long time at that point. And I picked up just technique. As much as I was afraid to be on stage, I still kind of am. I picked up just the mechanics of it. And how to at least give people the illusion that I'm comfortable up there. But people ask me, how come...
Right. You can't make it with the political views that we hold.
Yeah, dude, I told them, I'm like, guys, I it's not even the views, it's just saying what I want and dude, I grew up in, as did you, in Brooklyn elementary school. My class was like the UN. We all used to make fun of each other. We all used to call each other Literally, I would use these words. I'm saying I'm telling you the words that we used. We used chink, spick, Jew.
Yeah. You don't
boy.
have to go through the whole list. You know, so we can lose our
Except for
Denise and Alex.
Except for the N word, maybe.
If we say more stuff, then no more. Denise and Alex.
Yeah, exactly. We used to.
It's all about the ability just to hear them.
Yeah.
Just for to communicate to them, because they're going to be big. They're going to be big.
Yes. Dude, 11-year-old. I'm like an 11-year-old kid with a bunch of other 11-year-old kids. PS216 in Brooklyn, Avenue Z, Avenue X. And
I'm Avenue U.
Just like saying whatever we want, and it's funny, and there's nobody hates anybody, nobody has malice, nobody wants, there's no like call to.
Dude, I grew up since kindergarten with this Korean kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his parents are from Korea, but I can't say his name.
Yeah.
I never seen anybody laugh so hard as soon as you said anything racist.
Yeah.
He was just waiting for me, like to say something like, he goes, hey, what do you call those Vietnamese again? I said, books. He goes, he started laughing so hard.
Dude. I used to trade stocks, and I was in a firm with, like, let's say if there was like 50 guys, 40 guys, 45 of them were Chinese, and the rest of it was me, our friend AK-47. I'll say his. I'm not gonna say his name. I'll say his. What is it? Initials, and a couple other guys from Stuyvesant. It was like Stuyvesant, me. A few guys from Stuyvesant, not our friend Stuyvesant, but guys from Stuyvesant. 4 of them, myself, and everybody else is Chinese or Taiwanese. And every day we had like. They used to scream out something, and we used to go. The guy used to say my name. He couldn't pronounce Greg. He would say Gleg, and I would be like, Gleg, and I would like. It was like the funny, and like the whole office was dying. A bunch of Chinese guys were dying at being made fun of. They were cracking up. It was just the best. And like one time, I was like, this guy name was Ming, right? So I was like, Ming, how old are you? He's like 27. I was like, wow, man, I thought you were like no older than bar mitzvah. He's like, Gleg, what's a bar mitzvah? I was like, yeah, it's when the Jewish guy becomes a man. I'm like, dude, man, whatever. It's just like that kind of stuff, like every day it was just like, whatever. It's just like, our boss used to like tell, so sometimes like our internet we had like what's called T3 internet, which is like faster than, cable, whatever it is. And so sometimes our system would go down and guys would lose money. And then our boss would just come out. He would write in the chat, it is not the system, it is you. And then when I read it out loud to the whole office. It is not the system, it is you. It's just like all the guys like cracking up. All the Chinese, it's just like there's no hatred there. It's just freaking funny. It's shtick, And if you can't,
people remember this shtick recognition was a thing. The world is a better place when people had shtick recognition.
Of course.
Now you need an app to recognize shtick.
Oh my God! Is
that an app for that? Sure it's not. You got to make sure the app wasn't developed by Zucker Schmuck.
Oh my God! Yeah, otherwise, like half your thing is going to be whatever.
Or one of his cronies. Yeah.
Goodness gracious! I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the world's passed me by.
Did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see Gran Torino?
Yes, that was. I'm surprised they even allowed that movie. I think it's only because it's what's his name. If it was any other person, that movie would not have been allowed to be released or played anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think like they don't know what to do when it comes to certain dudes. Clint Eastwood is one of those guys. Like they don't know. He just literally said, he just literally made my life partner commit harakiri.
Yeah.
And we don't know what to do. My sensitive woke.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that movie was made in 2008, or it was made before that. It was released in 2008. So I think that was like the end of, so to speak, the era of to be able to say stuff,
Yeah.
Really?
No, you remember that scene? Where it was the little Asian girl that was his neighbor, right? That he was trying to protect from the black dudes, those thugs, right? Yeah. And then she was walking with the white kid who was like, you know, he was pretending to be black. Yeah. Remember? And then he was driving by in his old pickup truck. Yeah. And he gets out. He goes, you ever met somebody you shouldn't have fucked with? That's me. Yeah. Like he said.
Oh, you want? I can play the scene right now. This is here. The best. It's called Best Scene. Gran Torino. 12 million views on YouTube. See, people like normal people watch these things. Here.
No. Don't play it. Don't play it. You know why? First of all, it's too long. Oops. Don't play it. Don't play it. And it's like
it's got a lot of.
Can't hear very well.
It's got a lot of. Okay, fine.
No, it's just got a lot of. No, it's not. No, that's not why.
What's the issue? A lot of cursing?
It's just it's really intense. You gotta watch it.
Fine.
You can't you gotta see that. You gotta see that.
Yeah, for those of you guys listening, it's called, if you just type in Gran Torino, it'll come up Gran Torino Best Scene, 4 minutes and 37 seconds. It's like, and I'm telling you, he just took like, do you feel lucky, punk, and just like applied it to like all his Western.
You know
roles.
What? I just realized something. I just realized why they didn't go crazy. It's because he dies in the movie.
Ah, okay, but
right. So which means that he himself is saying it's time for us to. It's time for our. For our generation, to get out of the way.
Yeah, so they're kind of like,
It's like he's part of them. I'm telling you, man. I think Eastwood is part of them. Just like that faggot Harrison Ford. All right.
We don't mean that in the gay way. We just mean that in the
I don't. Faggot doesn't have anything to do with gay. By the way,
we mean that in the Cartman way.
You gay guys have got it all screwed up. All right. Yeah. When people say faggot, we're saying like.
Dude, can I tell you something? Gay guys don't have a problem with what you're saying.
Not a gay guy.
Gay guys don't have a problem with what you're saying. You know what's a problem? White girls have a problem with what you're saying.
I don't care.
Privileged white women.
It's totally fine. But here's the beauty. Here's the harmony. I don't care. So it's just fine.
I know you don't. Good.
I also don't care what black girls think.
I actually care what black girls. I care what black girls think more than I care what white girls think. Actually, and black girls tend to laugh more than white girls. But
you know what? You know what I noticed. I seem to care more, regardless of whether they're black or white, or really, in terms of like, I seem to care more what they think. If they're hot. Is that weird? That's not good, right? Yeah.
It's not good, and you should not, and I use a mnemonic kind of device, if you want to call it that, for myself, and tell myself, even if you don't count, not barring any of these like surgeries or, kind of women's ability to keep things together, she will not be as hot 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Just remember that.
I hear you. You know, when I'm thinking about like, are there any black women that I would really care to kind of like censor myself? Would I censor myself around them? And I can think of 5. Two of them are not even in my life. 2 of them are women that I've seen in shows and movies.
Whoopi Goldberg?
No, I don't care about Whoopi Goldberg. I would have cared about her had she stayed normal, but no, I don't care about her anymore.
Candace Owens would probably... No, I wouldn't censor her because she doesn't care.
Not Candace Owens. No, not Candace Owens. She's a kid, like... I'm talking about, like, from, like, I look at Candace Owens like a kid. I can't,
I know. But, she is a kid. She's, like, 31 years old or something like that.
Really? I thought she was younger than that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So
she's black. She's part of the Black Don't Crack crowd also, and she would agree with that. She would laugh at what I just said. I'm pretty sure she would.
Okay. All right. So here's on top of the list of black women that I would care. I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. Number 1, that lady from Die Hard with a Vengeance. Remember when they told him to put on that? You had to wear that I hate N-word and then walk through Harlem. Remember that little tiny old lady? She played in a bunch of movies. She's always playing a little old church lady.
Hold on.
Right? She's really... You know who she was? Oh, dude. Remember Coming to America?
Hold on.
There's this one scene in Coming to America where Eddie Murphy is chasing... his father came you know.
Oh,
Queens,
and then he gives the ring, and then that lady's in the train at the end.
Yeah, the ladies, and she goes, "I'll marry you, right?"
Marry you.
Right, he gives her like the giant diamonds, you know, and that little old lady. She was that little old lady from Die Hard with a Vengeance who was horrified, and then and then Bruce Willis is like, "Oh man, no!" That was the worst part of it for him. He didn't care about those thugs.
Yeah, because he's horrified about the old lady who lived through Jim Crow. And her parents were probably like.
I don't know if it got that complex. There's a horrified old lady who you hurt her feelings. That's it. You know, like so that's number one. Yeah. Number two, like I would want to behave myself around her. You know. Yeah. Number two is Bill Cosby's wife on the Cosby Show. Yeah. Felicia Rashad, is that her name?
Yes.
I feel like I would have to behave myself around her.
Yes.
You know why? Because she reminds me a lot of my own mom, right? Mm-hmm. Even kind of the way that she looks. I know it's weird, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's like certain facial expressions, certain looks that remind me a lot of my mom.
She could just look at you and be like, "Don't be saying that."
No, but I'd wanna, I'd wanna listen to her because, you know, she's kind of like, you know, she basically partly raised me.
Yeah.
If I want to be honest, like I grew up on the Cosby Show. Anyway,
the name of the woman from the Die Hard, Birdie M. Hale, Hale. So she was like on Law and Order.
I would behave myself around
Birdie M. Hale, elderly passenger. She was on. She passed away. When did she pass away? 2009. Man. She was 97 years old. She was on like Law and Order. She was on Die Hard with a Vengeance, Juice, Bishop's grandmother. I don't know what that is. A Rage in Harlem, the Cosby. She was in Cosby Show. She would Come to America.
She was in Juice. That seems a little.
She was like somebody's grandmother, Bishop's grandma. I don't know who Bishop was. I don't remember the characters in that movie.
Bishop was a fat dude.
Tupac's grandma. He was Tupac. Was
that was Tupac.
So she was his grandma.
She's Tupac's grandma. I don't think so.
She played Tupac. You
know what Tupac's grandma should be?
Of Tupac.
You know that lady from Don't Be a Menace, the granny. You know, the weed smoking granny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care about behaving around her.
That's funny. She played in Death Wish, you know, with Bronson. Was it Bronson or Charles Bronson? Death Wish 3.
Who, Birdie?
This Birdie woman mugging.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
she was
like one of those.
She was a mugging victim. And,
yeah.
She also she played Aunt Rose in the sketch in the beginning of Eddie Murphy Raw where he's like there's a sketch before the thing.
Oh yeah, when he's a kid and he's saying the dirty jokes and stuff, and he has only one crazy uncle laughs and everybody else is horrified.
Everybody's like, "What the?" And he's like, "Ta-da!" He's like, "The hell?" So
I like the uncle. The uncles. There's like one guy laughing.
He's like, "Ha ha ha!" So Birdie Hale. So who else? Her and Felicia Rashad, and who else would you?
All right, no. So those are the two, people that. Okay, so the other one, there's school nurse in elementary school.
Oh, in your real life.
Yeah. School nurse, elementary school. Mm-hmm. And then there was a teacher in school. Her name was Miss. Well, maybe I shouldn't say her name, but her name was Miss McCrae. Mm-hmm. And there's one more.
I never had one black teacher in school. I don't think. Did I have any black teachers in school? I'm trying to think. I actually didn't.
She wasn't even my teacher. She was one of the 4th grade or the 3rd grade teachers, and I didn't get her, but I liked her. She seemed nice. You know what I mean? She seemed like, and I know I spoke to her a bunch of times. I don't remember the context of that, but she was really nice. And there's a doctor that I know that was very nice, like older lady. I feel like I should behave myself around her. Mm-hmm. All right, but this is all voluntary.
Yeah.
Because I like these people. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. Otherwise. Yeah.
For sure.
So that's it.
I'm trying to think who did I have? I don't even think I even had like one. Oh, I had this black guy, leftist professor of political science in Baruch. This guy used to talk about socialism, and he used to talk about how he hated. He's like, my grandfather was a general in Grenada, and he basically hated Reagan because of that. Because Reagan, invaded Grenada. And then this guy would go and he would be like, "Oh, I the money that I made today from $500 in stocks, I'm gonna buy myself a nice Smith Hot Lafitte bottle of wine." And I'm just like, you freaking fake ass socialist.
Limousine. Was it
limousine
champagne?
leftist? Limousine leftist.
Limousine leftist and champagne.
Champagne
Something that
socialist.
starts with shop.
Champagne socialist. Champagne communist. Whatever. Champagne
something.
Whatever. Yeah.
Limousine leftist. Right. That's right.
Champagne Che Guevarist. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Hold on. I want to get the term right. Champagne. It's literally called Champagne Socialist.
You got to get it right, Greg. No, we can do better than Champagne Socialist. It has to, Yeah. It doesn't roll off. It doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
One second. Hi. There's high here. Luxury leftism. There's luxury leftism. There's limousine leftism. Bourgeois. They call it bougie. That's just regular. That's basically it.
Is there any famous besides Shay?
Who?
Shay is too short. You understand what I'm saying? There's only one syllable. Is there any commie shuz that we have that we're not thinking of right now? How about it'd be cool if you can bend it a little like champagne shy comms.
Yeah, you can do that too. Shysters.
Champagne shy comms?
Champagne shysters, whatever.
No, that's champagne shysters. If you say shysters, that's basically I think shysters refers to, it's a derogatory term for Jews basically. Yeah. Or like a Jew lawyer or something like that.
You could also call them moneyed Marxists.
Right. Yeah.
That's about it. That's all I got. Yeah, so, what were we talking about?
I don't know, but I feel a little off. I think I'm getting zapped, or maybe I just need a nap. But you know what? I'm gonna shake out of this for the folks at home.
So, yeah, man. So my parents asked me why did I continue this and that and the other, and my mother's just like, well, you should bring it back.
Wait, back it up. Your parents asked you, why didn't you continue
with stand-up?
In your career of stand-up comedy?
Yes, of 3 shows that I did, 2 of which were good, and 1 of which the people that were not given alcohol.
The people were not given alcohol?
Yeah. Every single comedian, even the comedians that were on that lineup that night who were experienced, we literally, all of us bombed. It couldn't be that we were all bad. We had essentially the same material as we used in the previous shows and in the shows after that, which lead me to conclude that, and these guys even told me, the owners even said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't have alcohol." Whatever, it was like one of these nights where they just didn't have, there's something issue with their liquor license. This is Broadway Comedy Club. Talking about 2008. Yeah. And whatever, they're like, "Yeah, man, you can't perform if you don't, so to speak, lube up the audience." You know what I mean?
Phrasing.
Yes. So no, and I just tell my parents, I'm just like, your mom was like, "No, but you could bring it back." I'm like, "Yeah, me versus the world." Like, again, it's not even about my opinions. It's about
my boy can do anything.
It's not even the boy. It's like, why you gotta be so like, she's like, look at Harvey. She's like pointing me to like the 2 cases of like in Hollywood of like people who were grandfathered in from a previous era, like Eastwood and Harvey Keitel and Bruce Willis and like a couple of other people, and the rest of them are kind of like hiding in the bushes, scared for their lives at this point. And I'm like, okay, there's between somebody who gets grandfathered in and somebody like myself who wouldn't be able to even get a start.
Yeah, but why did she bring up Harvey Keitel? How does he fit into
because
this?
Harvey Keitel apparently is also conservative and whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Something like, yeah, supposedly. Here. Harvey Keitel. Yeah.
Mr. Keitel.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So he
you.
stopped being that because he says real tough guys don't vote Trump. Never mind. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Hollywood needs to be reformed, says Harvey Keitel. Oh, so he actually agrees Hollywood needs to be reformed. Whatever the hell that means.
Sounds like controlled opposition.
Yeah, it looks like that. Harvey Keitel on his uneasy relationship with Hollywood. But see, he's been around for a while, so it's like whatever, you know. Here, let's do conservative actors. You know, you have what's his name? Yeah, 27 celebrities who support the Republican Party, whatever that was left of it. You got Candace Cameron. Okay, so she's normal because her and her husband are like these evangelicals. I'm sorry, that her and her brother. Melissa Joan Hart, the Sabrina Teenage Witch. Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, I'll take it.
He voted for Trump in 2016, and again. Christy Swanson, I don't know.
Christy Swanson is a smokestack.
Yes.
Who she was in Buffy.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah. Then you get Tim Allen, who's awesome.
Yep.
He fights people on Twitter.
His show got canceled at number 1.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
That makes sense, right?
Caitlyn Jenner, of all people, obviously. I mean, she's sees the BS within her own movement of those weird people. James Woods, Caitlyn Jenner, or sorry, what's his real first name? Chris? No.
Are you talking about Bruce Jenner?
Bruce Jenner, yes, correct. There we go.
The American hero, Bruce Jenner?
Yes, on the
had his mind zapped?
Yes, on the Wheaties box. Next, James Woods, who also fights people on Twitter. He's a conservative. Arnold, who we put him in harem, so he was, but he's not anymore. Go fly.
Arnold is banished.
He's banished. Clint Eastwood, okay. Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she's like the punching bag in The View, or was. Gene Simmons, who he didn't vote for Trump, and he came out in favor of the Schmaxines recently, so whatever. Yeah, he endorsed Romney in 2012, so whatever.
Okay, all right.
Nick Mangold, he's an NFL guy. Stacey Dash, she's actually smokestack still, and she still looks like she's part of the Black Don't Crack contingent.
Stacey Dash.
You know who Stacey Dash is? Dude, she's like freaking 55 years old. And she looks like she's like 25 still.
Stacey Dash is 55.
She's 55 years old, dude. She's
the girl from Clueless.
From Clueless, 55? Yeah, the rich black
55.
Girl. Yeah.
Can you believe like those? I saw that movie like just the other day. Can you believe those girls are all like they're all about to collect Social Security now, man?
Dude, she's not even on Social Security. She's about to collect something else. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
I'll give us
easy, Tiger.
I'll give us some Social Security. Hey,
down, boy.
I'll tell you, Social Security. It's like I've seen 1 or 2 black converts to Judaism in my day.
Easy.
Anyway.
Oh.
So anyway, Stacey Dash is a conservative.
Ice bucket challenge.
What? Ice bucket, exactly. Ice bucket challenge.
Ice bucket challenge, man.
Dude,
ice bucket challenge yourself right now.
She's very nice. She's very nice.
She is a lovely
55 years old, dude. That's like I would never believe it if somebody told me. Jerry Bruckheimer, supposedly allegedly, even though he supported Romney and McCain, so that makes him deep state. Scott Baio, he's a Trump guy. Roseanne Barr, yes.
Scott Baio, one of the classic olive skin newcomers.
Yes. Charles in Charge.
Chachi.
Yes.
Chachi.
Yes.
From Happy Days.
Yes. Roseanne
Jody
Barr.
loves Chachi.
Yeah. That was a separate show.
That was from was that movie, man, with Vince Vaughn and with Ben Stiller?
Mm-hmm.
Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me finish reading this list.
Ben Stiller's the bad guy.
Yes. He's like
Jody loves Chachi.
He's just this weird like gym owner or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Here, Roseanne Barr, who's my friend. Antonio Sabato Jr. Remember the guy? He was like in CK commercials, and now model guy ended up being like on Melrose Place. Still conservative.
Not sure, but a cool last name, Sabato.
Yeah. He's like a Spanish guy. Dennis Quaid and I guess his brother also, Randy Quaid, are both. Ted Nugent, yes. Who actually...
Dennis Quaid's brother is Randy Quaid?
Yes, they're brothers. They're brothers.
No, they're not.
We're happy and
no,
we're not colored. Do. Give me a hug.
No.
Brothers,
No,
dude.
dude. Don't even play with my emotions like
I'm
that.
not playing with your emotions. Dennis Quaid and Randy Quaid are brothers. The hell's wrong with you?
Randy Quaid is one of the greatest people who ever lived. And
Dude,
Dennis Quaid,
he's the old. Randy Quaid is the
my
older.
favorite astronaut.
Randy Quaid is the older brother of Dennis Quaid. Randy Quaid is 71, and Dennis Quaid is something. Give me
Dude,
a
how
second.
did I not put that together?
Hello, they
They
look
look nothing. They look nothing.
They have a
like
certain.
each other.
They have a certain something, a little shtickle. Dennis Quaid is 67, and Randy Quaid is 71. They should add my string. Ted Nugent, okay, good. John Voight, good, very Trumpy. Dean Cain, who actually came out as a real, speaking of, but he supports Trump. Isaiah Washington, as part of his disdain for Democrats came from the Obama admin not acknowledging Washington's activism. That his own
Isaiah Washington, the actor.
Yes, not George Washington.
No, I got mixed up for a second because I was thinking Isaiah Thomas, basketball player, and then coach.
Conor McGregor, John Ratzenberger. Remember the guy he played?
Love that guy, man.
Love
John.
Give me a beer. He plays like Incredibles, Cars, Toy Story. The candidate out there is Donald Trump for me because he's a builder. Meghan McCain, who's McCain's daughter, but I guess she clashed repeatedly with Trump. But she's sometimes bringing her, sense, trying to knock sense into, make Whoopi Goldberg. And Catherine McPhee.
Controlled opposition. Catherine McPhee. Who's Catherine McPhee?
She's like Jezebel show something. I don't know. RNC 500.
Oh man, you're talking to someone who hasn't watched
I also don't know that American
singer,
singer-songwriter. She's 37 years old. She is
37. I wouldn't know her.
She was a runner-up on the 5th season of American Idol in 2006. Okay, whatever.
I don't care about anybody younger than me. I don't. They're not. I have no more room in my consciousness to learn about.
Don't have the bandwidth.
Entertainers.
Those need nanobots. We do not compute such people. We need to install nano. And then
I need extra nano. I need augmented memory from nanobots to remember McPhee.
We will speak to Prime Minister Netanyahu. He will sell us the country for free, and he is going to retire anyway, so he doesn't care. Here, conservative. Let's see if we can find any other.
Is Dennis Quaid's brother.
Dude, did I just break your whatever?
You've broken me.
Kevin James, Kurt Russell, Adams. Hold on.
Kevin James?
No. No. I made a mistake, Punjabi. Here, no.
That would kind of make sense because Brother Sandler is a Republican. I mean,
Sandler, yes. Vince Vaughn, Kurt Russell, Jessica Simpson, Heather Locklear, Patricia Heaton, Laura Prepon, The Smokestack, Dean Cain.
Patricia Heaton is everybody loved. Yes. Everybody loved Raymond's wife.
Yes.
Deborah.
Yes. Tom Selleck, Rip Torn, Joe Pesci.
Tom Selleck.
Joan Rivers.
Rip Torn.
Joan Rivers, we know was she was.
Joan Rivers, yeah, we know.
She was rubbed out.
Joan Rivers
for saying that Michelle Obama is whatever.
She's a man, baby. Yeah.
Angie Harmon, the chick from Law and Order. George Hamilton, the guy who looks like he's constantly like a tomato.
Oh yeah, the tan.
Celia Ward. Sorry, Chuck Norris, obviously. John Voight.
Wait. Go back. Who?
What? Who?
Before Chuck Norris?
Jacqueline Smith. I don't know. Oh, Celia Ward. Remember Celia Ward? Celia Ward is like
one of the greatest smokestacks of the modern era.
Yeah, she was like back in the day, like situation.
Of postmodern. Yeah.
Chuck Norris, John Voight, Andy Garcia. Oh.
Andy Garcia?
Supposedly, allegedly, I don't know. Kevin Sorbo, yes, that we know. Kevin Sorbo is also a Twitter
dude.
warrior.
My favorite is is David Mamet. That's my favorite.
David Mamet is the best.
That's my favorite.
He's the best.
He's
a
about
Jew.
Cuba.
He's about Shuva, and he's a Jew, and he fought. He came out against the whole stupid Jewish Larry David contingent, idiots. John Wayne, obviously, Clint Eastwood, John Cryer, allegedly, supposedly. Charlton Heston, we knew. Fred Thompson, he passed away.
John Cryer, who's John Cryer?
John Cryer is like that
Ducky
from Two and a Half Men, and it's Ducky and 2.5 Men, Pretty in Pink.
No. Ducky is Ducky. There's no after being Ducky, you're nothing else.
Jim Belushi. Who else? Gary Sinise. Gary Sinise, we know that.
Gary Sinise, yes.
Sinatra supposedly was. Arnold, we excommunicated, put in harem. Dennis Miller still is. Baruch Hashem.
Sinatra was, and so was Don Rickles.
Yes.
Except couldn't say. They both couldn't really come out and say it.
Yeah.
But they were both good friends and supporters of Reagan.
Yes.
And so was Johnny Carson.
Yes.
Who was supposedly a liberal.
Yeah, but whatever. Johnny Carson was one of the what's called the Reagan Democrats. Ben Stein, who's still Baruch Hashem, I'm not going to say anything. Hunter.
Who?
Ben Stein.
Oh, Ben Stein, of course.
Hello.
Brother Stein. He's one of our greatest.
Kelsey Grammer, Kathy Ireland, allegedly, supposedly.
Kathy Ireland. Who's Kathy Ireland?
The model.
I know who Kathy Ireland is. Wait. Don't. She was the smokestack who played in Necessary Roughness.
Yes,
she was the kicker.
she's just a model. She's like 50. She's 58. What? No, she's not.
Kathy Ireland's 58.
She's not damn 58. It's 50.
Dude, you remember that movie? Remember the big Hawaiian guy who was in love with her in that movie?
Yes.
And then, like during one of the games, somebody shoved her or something like that. He's like, "You will die."
Kathy Ireland ain't no damn 58. I refuse to believe this. I'm gonna go bury myself in a hole.
Freaking! How old is Alicia Silverstone? Like 72? Is she collecting? Is she a member of AARP yet? What the hell's going on here?
Alicia Silverstone, first of all, is sadly not a smokestack anymore. No, Alicia Silverstone is 45.
What are you talking about? She's a smokestack.
Still? Now, these days...
standards are getting a little crazy, bro.
She's alright now. Passable.
Alicia Silverstone. Are you kidding me?
She's alright. She was great in that Aerosmith video. She was fantastic.
I don't know. Something about those Aerosmith videos was... There's something a little... I don't know, man. It was...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's his daughter, and then she's acting like that. Like something's.
That's not his daughter. Man. That's his daughter. His daughter
Jamie's
was
got a gun.
Liv Tyler.
Happening,
Liv Tyler, you're talking about.
No? Yeah, she was the other. She was the other girl.
She was the other girl. Yeah. Whatever.
If he didn't write the song "Janie's Got a Gun," I would be wondering about who's Janie.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. Alicia Silverstone. Let's see a recent picture.
She's great in that video. In this,
dude, she looks
amazing.
She still looks.
It's amazing. She's in that video.
How old is she?
She's 45. So she was like whatever 17.
Damn, I for some reason she was. Oh, so she was really young when
she was
that
like 17
came
or
out.
18 in that video. Yeah. Who's next? Bob Hope, obviously. James Caan, yes. Scott Caan's father.
Dude, you have to watch. You have to watch Norm Macdonald talk about Bob Hope. Bob Hope was Norm Macdonald's favorite comedian. You have to watch. I'll send it to you. It's not going to come through. If you play it right now.
Yeah, let's just keep reading the list. Drew Carey, Stephen Baldwin. We know he gets into fights, arguments with his brother.
Stephen. That's the one. That's our one Baldwin.
Yeah.
And Adam Baldwin, by the way. I don't know.
From Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. What was it? Animal Mother.
Yeah.
He was Animal Mother, man.
Dennis Hopper was.
Dennis Hopper.
Kirk Cameron. Obviously.
Dennis Hopper was Dennis Hopper? He was a conservative?
Here.
Are you sure about that?
Let's check.
Because he's like the guy that you want to mimic when you're thinking about a hippie.
Yeah, he says, Hopper admitted, I've been a Republican since Reagan. I voted for Bush and his father. So, kind of, whatever, sort of, kind of. I don't freaking know. Who the hell knows? Kirk Cameron, yes. Sly Stallone. Larry Miller. You know this guy, Larry Miller?
Larry Miller is a fantastic comedian.
Yes, and he was, yeah. Yakov Smirnoff, what a country. Obviously.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Mickey Rooney
Russian Jewish guy who came here in the 80s.
Okay,
of course he's a conservative.
No way, this says Lorne Michaels. No freaking way. And if he was, he probably only voted for Bush. No freaking way. I mean, no. No. No freaking way.
This list is starting to drop off a little, bro.
I know. Here, Bill Engvall, the blue-collar comedy guy. Mel Gibson.
Yep.
Tom Berenger. Tony Sirico, you know, the guy who played Sopranos. Paulie Walnuts, whatever. Jim Caviezel, okay.
Paulie Walnut? Yeah, Paulie Walnut. All right.
Jim Caviezel, Dennis Franz, the guy from NYPD Blue. Paul Sorvino, Mira Sorvino's father. Leslie Nielsen, not surprising. Larry the Cable Guy.
Yep.
Jake, you might be a redneck, Jack Foxworthy. James Woods, yes, we mentioned him. There's a whole momish list here.
Wait! You can't skirt over James Woods. James Woods is our shining star.
Of course not.
James Woods is our man. He's our guy.
Yeah.
He's the president of the
conservative
of the Republican entertainers.
Yes. Yeah.
Him and David Mamet. Imagine those two together. Can you imagine the fireworks?
Oh my God.
They give me two guys like that. They'll destroy the world.
Yeah. Craig T. Nelson.
In a good way.
Yes. Ron Silver. Remember Ron Silver?
Yeah, sure.
Who else?
Jewish guy. Always played villains for some reason.
Yes. He played in... You know where he played? He played in... I'll tell you where he played. He passed away in 2009, by the way. He played...
Ron Silver passed away?
He passed away in 2009. Yeah, he played in
Time Cop.
Time Cop. He played in here... Girl 6. He played...
Blue Steel.
He played in Mr. Saturday Night. He played in with what's his face, Billy Crystal. He played in Blue Steel. He played in something after he played in The Arrival. I don't know what the hell, horror film with Charlie Sheen.
The Arrival. It was actually a pretty decent kind of alien invasion movie.
Interesting. Why did
Charlie Sheen? Yeah, it was actually, I don't know. It didn't make it big, but it was okay.
He played Angelo Dundee in Ali. He played, in his last movie, A Secret Promise. I don't know what that was. Yeah, so he's whatever, Time Cop and whatever. Then you get, who else? Okay, all these guys from the previous era. You get, that's basically, hold on, Shirley Temple was, obviously. Dick Clark was.
Wait, Shirley Temple? Why do you say obviously?
No, it's not from that era. I don't know. Not obvious, but yeah, probably. George Peppard, yes, not surprising.
Yes.
Ricardo Montalban, the plane boss, the plane.
Yes, sir. Yes. He was one of Don Rickles' best friends. He was telling a story. Of how Anthony Quinn always, whenever they were sitting at a restaurant together, Don Rickles and Ricardo Montalban, he was they were always sitting at a restaurant, and then Anthony Quinn, who was one of the biggest actors of all time, huge. He's a film, he had some of the greatest films ever, like La Stada. There's a whole, whatever. He was in I think hundreds of movies, and he sits down. He'd always do this. He'd sit down. He goes. This is my family. This is where you. We're gonna make a movie together. Yeah. You and Don, you're gonna be Al, and Ricardo, you're gonna be Frank. Yeah. You're gonna be Al, and you're gonna be Frank. And he goes, 5 weeks later, we're sitting in the restaurant again. He goes, my family. Oh, I'm happy to see you. Let me sit down with you. Waiter, get the wine and the bread, and the butter, and the grappa. Get the grappa. He goes, this is my family. We're going to do a movie upcoming in October, all right? It's going to be called, I don't know what it's going to be called, but, hey, Ricardo, you're going to be Jim, and Don, you're going to be Al, and we're going to be in a movie together. We're going to love it. and he goes, that guy did that to us every single time. We were never in a movie, never once. Never. Like two schmucks. We always sit there like, we're gonna be in a movie. Like I used to call Ricardo. Ricardo used to call. He goes, Don, this is great news. Great news. We're gonna be in a movie.
Yeah. Dwight Schultz from The Foo.
We know this. The man whom Jim Carrey stole his life. Okay.
Yeah. Danny Aiello from Do the Right Thing.
Danny Aiello from many things. From Moonstruck.
Yeah.
From The Professional.
Yes. Jackie Mason, obviously, we know that.
From Hudson Hawk.
Yes.
Jackie Mason is one of the all-time great.
Yes. It's getting to the end. 1 second.
Danny Aiello apparently is also an opera singer.
Was he or is he? That's interesting.
I believe he trained as an opera singer. The point is he can sing opera.
Interesting. Oh, Lenny Clark. You know that guy? Lenny Clark. He's
a comedian from Boston.
Yeah. So he's also.
He's part of like Dennis Leary's crew.
Yeah. So basically, Dennis Leary probably is going to, and what's his name? The other guy, but
Dennis Leary, by the way,
Colin Quinn.
Colin Quinn, really?
I'm guessing. I mean, he knows shit. So I don't know.
I wouldn't have guessed that. But okay, all right.
Colin Quinn.
Patrice O'Neill was a conservative in the end.
Of course. Or he was
anti-Obama.
He was anti-wokist.
He went Alex Jones.
There's no really conservative people. There's just people who are anti-wokist at this point, against the stupid woke crap, and then they call them conservatives. They're like, no, like Dave Rubin. He's like, I'm a liberal, but I'm not a freaking wokist.
You know what Patrice O'Neill said? He goes, now I understand. After seeing some of this stuff, like. He goes, I wish that those like crazy, like hillbilly rednecks up there, would understand that we're brothers. You know what I mean? Like, like we got the same enemies, right? Like,
Yep.
He actually said in another place. He goes, man, I've been traveling abroad. Like, there was a time when he was like touring like Europe or England, and. He goes, I noticed that they have a real hatred for Americans. That like they hate us. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter like if you're white or black. He goes, they say they call you a Yank. They say it with this real evil, like Yank.
Yeah.
Right? He goes, I don't care. He goes, if you're an American and I see you, man, you're my brother. I don't care if you got KKK tattooed on your knuckles. You are my brother, right?
Yeah. That's hilarious. It's quite hilarious. What can we do? What can we say? What can we do? So
and he's like, you know why they hate us? Because we're arrogant, and it's like we don't care with our arrogance. Be like, like they know everything. Like they know so many things. They're like, yeah. So your president did this and that. He goes, do you know who my president is? And then he started telling. He goes, no, I don't want to hear that. That's okay. We don't want to know about you and your country and everything about you. We don't care. We're Americans.
Hilarious.
And then he went further. He was going like, he goes, I'm so arrogant that when I go, to some foreign country, he goes, I feel like they're visiting me. He's like, what is this language you're speaking here in France, in Turkey? He goes, speak English. He goes, oh, what's this clothes you're wearing?
This is the world. Speak English.
Yeah.
Can I read to you a gematria that somebody posted?
We got to if you're going to bring gematria, we're going to have to do the calculation.
Yeah, but so here, check this out.
That's my rule.
Fine. Our sages taught, quote, the best of doctors go to Gehinom. The numerical value of this expression equals the value of this is the phrase, this is Tav Shin Pei Bet, i.e. the numerals of this year, 5782. Or
listen. We got to unpack.
I know. I just want to read the finish reading, then we unpack. Tov Sheberofim Legehinom equals 794 equals Ze Tav Shin Pei Bet. Note, the source for this teaching is Kedushin 82a, hinting for the first half of the year, 82, our present time of year.
Okay, would you mind sharing where you're reading this so I can see it?
Some guy just wrote it. I mean, I posted it on my comment section of my Facebook, but some guy just wrote that. And a certain rabbi, I'm not going to name him, he posted it on his wall, and I took it from him.
All right, we're going to take a look at this right now. We're going to confirm it. We're not going to be like other people that just repeat stuff when it's not true.
Sure.
Okay, just a second, please. Svilicious, okay. Okay. Oh, man. Family of Antonina Zatulovsky.
No, that's something else.
Yeah, I know.
My first post.
Where?
No. Go on the post
Svilicious?
about this doctor, and then in the comments section, you'll see me.
Now that makes sense in the context. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So we're going to look up this source.
Yes.
Kedushin 82a. Let's go straight to Safaria. God bless Safaria.
Yes.
I've been meaning to donate.
My cat is going insane.
I hear your buddy.
Yes, my buddy's going insane because he has to stay in a foreign house. And yes, my friend. I try to give you food, you won't eat. What do you want? Can't help you. You're being weird. Anyway,
Beat it, punk.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. So we got Kedushin 82a.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Kedushin 82a. Oh, that's the last page
Yes.
of Kedushin.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, they said to Rabbi Yehuda, Jews are not suspected of engaging in. Okay, I'm not going to say that.
Huh.
All right, dude. The Talmud is not for the faint of heart.
It's true. It's not. It's for people who have emotional. It's for people who have what's called emotional intelligence. Basically, wokeists can't read it.
And shtick.
And shtick and emotional intelligence.
Understand shtick.
Yeah, exactly.
You also have to be able to understand what midrash is.
Exactly, and don't be a big freaking baby if you're gonna read it. Don't be a big baby, a big lefty woke baby.
There's nothing in the Talmud that's meant to be understood. Well, very few things, especially the most. None of it's really. Let me rephrase that. We know what's meant to be understood literally, and what's meant as a cryptic information encoded fable.
Yes.
Okay.
Allegory. Yes.
All right.
So you're reading it?
Where the hell? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. The best of doctors is to Gehenna, and even the fittest of butchers is a partner of Amalek. What that means is that it's so hard to remain perfectly. It's such a huge test. It's such a huge responsibility to be a doctor and to be a butcher, especially a kosher butcher, right? That there's so many people that rely on you that you've taken a job that you can't F up in this job.
Yeah.
You can't. So.
Yeah. That is true.
So that's okay. So let's see now. So I'm looking for the phrase. Okay. So Sheborofim. Okay. So what's that? Ruvan Chasidim Tov Sheborofim Legehinam. 1 second. Sheborofim Legehinam. Tov Sheborofim Legehinam. Okay, I've confirmed that this phrase does indeed exist. It is a quote. Indeed, it is from Kedushin 82a. This is real. Now let's do the math. Okay, so let's start. You looking at it?
Yes.
Okay, so Tet is 9. Vav is 6. That's 15. Bet is 2, 17. Okay, I should have known that. Tov is 17. Okay. Sheber Rofim. Okay, so Shin is 300. Bet is 2. Resh is 200. So that's 502. Vav is 6. 508. Okay. Pay is 80. 588. Aleph is 1. 589. Yud is 10. 599. Mem is 40. That's 500 and 639. Yeah, 639. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Lamed is 30. 669. Gimel is 3. 672. Yud is 10. 600 and I lost my train of thought because I'm very sleepy. Greg, I need your help with this.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I need you to keep track of the total.
Yes.
I lost.
All right. So fine. I'll read it again, and I'll write down with a pen the total of what you're reading.
All right.
Of the parts.
So folks, confirming gematrias is not. You got to do the work.
Yes. Show the work, as we say, with Common Core. This is the Common Core of gematria.
This is not. It is not the Common Core. Don't compare it.
I know.
To the Common Core.
Major Lahavdil.
Major. Okay. Remember Major Payne?
Yes.
Love that movie. He's like when he was when that little boy, the little black kid, his name was Tiger. He wanted a hug, right? So he hugged him, and then he turned him around. He put him in a half Nelson or something like that. He goes, "You plotting on me, boy?" and then Hillary from Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
She comes up to him. She goes, "No, he just wants some affection." He goes, and then he goes, "I don't like it. It makes me feel funny on the inside."
That's funny.
That's how I feel too. All right. So we got 300. I'm just doing the word shofrei. Sheberofim. That was wrong. Okay. So shin is 300 plus 2 plus 200 plus 6 plus 80 plus 1 plus 10 plus 40, okay, plus 30 plus 3 plus plus 40 plus 17. 784.
Yes.
I missed something, didn't I?
You missed 10 somewhere. Because
I missed the yud in there.
Because it's Z, tough shin. Yeah.
I missed the yud. I definitely missed the yud.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I do remember missing out. Yes, it adds up. It is 794 indeed. Now Z. Okay, so Z tough shin. So Z is spelled Zion Hey. So Zion is 7. Hey is 5. Okay. 12, and then Tav is 400. Shin is 300. So that's 700, and then Pei is 80. So that's 780. 782. Yeah. So it adds up. So what does it mean, Greg? The source for this teaching is Kedushin 82a, hinting to the first half of the year 82, which we're in right now.
It looks like the doctors that did things wrong are going to be taken to task, unfortunately. That's what it means. That's what I typed out of that whole jazz. What do you think? Today we have a guy in Israel, we just spoke about him, who's saying that, people over 60, they might have to be ready to not have treatment because there's a person who is in a bed instead of them, whatever.
So basically, I think you're right. I think it's saying that. So the actual phrase in the Hebrew or in the Aramaic is that it says even the best of doctors go to the world of purification.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So so how much more so? What's going to happen to you?
Yeah. Like this guy's ahead of Smacks in Israel. you know, and he can't even mention therapeutics. You know, if somebody asks him about it, he just like he doesn't even like he can't even be bothered to mention it. Some schmachter he is, you know. Just it's astounding. It's mamash, and he's wearing a like you said. You know, how does he daven? How does he what ma? The guy's got a kippah. You know what I'm saying? It's. I don't know. I do not know. You know, my rabbi before all of this, Rav Dror, before all of the Shmovit stuff, this is, you know, since for like a few years already, has been saying, you know, when Mashiach comes, he says, you're going to see that the people that you thought, first of all, the people that you thought were actually Jews, period, are not, and the people you never thought are Jews are.
You know,
listen.
Can I, would you mind if I stop you?
I just want to say the full idea, and then you can. And then he says, and then he said, huh?
Say the full idea, and then I'll dismantle it.
And then he said the people, and then he actually said the people that you thought are, you know, actually, well, no, Alon Nava says the people that you think are all, you know, religious and whatever it is, and leaders and whatever it is. I'm talking about frum people. I'm not even talking about like the J Street guys and all those guys. He's like, you're gonna have the shock of your life. Anyway, so what would you like to dismantle, sir?
Okay, so these kind of statements, right, are they're not true.
Okay. With
all respect to the men that said them, I actually do respect them. I have no intention of, but the people who are the Rebbe had an entirely different approach, right? The people that we hate, the people that we rail against, right? Like some of the worst, you know, like Soros and stuff like that, right? Like, those are the hardest people to accept or to have some association, any association with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, we technically come from the same people, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the Rebbe's approach was not to ditch him. I don't know how I'm not talking about Soros. I'm just speaking about, like, you know, let's say some Hollywood idiot. You know what I mean? Like, let's say, who do I want to pick on? Who's the guy who makes all those stupid those romantic comedies with Seth Rogen, that idiot?
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Like one of those guys.
Jonah Hill, yeah.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fine.
Like,
the director.
Like one of these guys. You know what I mean? Like as obnoxious and lefty as these people are, like the Rebbe wasn't quick to kind of like, you know.
No, that's those guys are all right, I guess.
Right, but so those kind of basically when
do
the rabbis.
Do you know who Rav Dror was talking about? He wasn't talking about those guys. He was talking about the people that you thought were like the frum people that you thought are like have lineage and yichus. That's who he's talking. He's talking about like those people. It turns out that they do have lineage, but they also have like. It's not what you think. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about the guys you're describing.
I mean, normally when I hear that, that's who people are talking about. I don't know if Rav Dror has
No, he was talking about the people that you think are like Cholent and Kugel you're more of a Jew than they are. That's what he's trying to say. That people like you and I are more Jews than Cholent and Kugel. People like in India and China, Kaifeng and whatever, are more Jews than the Cholent and Kugel people. When Mashiach comes, we're going to find that. He's saying that's where we're going to find that out.
Okay, you might have some of that here and there, but I don't see. Sometimes what's so funny? Sometimes, like when you hear statements like that, it mirrors very closely to what something like Farrakhan would say. You know what I mean?
It's not.
You know, like they're Farrakhaning themselves.
Yeah, but he's again, dude. Sitrako gets it first, like you said. You know what I mean? It's not Farrakhan. It's Sitrako gets it first. So Farrakhan happens to be one of the agents of that.
But by the way, it's also here's why I initially said it wasn't true what they said, because check this out.
Okay.
It's literally in the Rambam directly. Yeah, we got to read the Rambam just to clarify, because I'm not trying to pick on any rabbis for any statements that they may have made. I just want to, this is for clarity, for knowledge. One second. I'm going to pull this up, and this is actually really, really important.
Okay.
We have to stop joshing around for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
No more joshing for like 3 seconds.
Funny.
That's the hardest thing for me to do, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
To be serious for like a couple seconds, like it's like agony.
Yeah, it is agony.
It's just, it feels fake. Like I gotta be fake.
That's true. Yeah, that's how I felt when I came back to America from Israel. I had to be like, go to these I found myself at these networking events, and it was like Larry David says, it was just death. I felt like I was slowly being strangled by Himmler. By like mamash, like it was like a Nazi following me around, and so you must behave this way, you Jew. I know you want to say what you want to say. I know what you want to make people laugh, but you must behave this way, otherwise you will not have any income. Yeah, you won't have any income anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you don't realize that. You think you will. So you are behaving like you have a stick inside your two has.
Bill Burr said something kind of.
God.
I mean, it's sort of related, where he goes, I'm not suicidal. I just like, I panic when like there's some kind of activity that I so don't want to do.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend said, let's bake a pumpkin pie.
Oh God.
He goes, when she said that, like I just imagined myself like kind of like smashing my head like through the window and just bleeding out on the side of the
listen
on the side of the building. I couldn't face the idea of spending half an hour making a pumpkin pie with my girlfriend.
Dude, listen, I know we just poo-pooed on people like Larry David, but let me play this for you. It's 2 minutes long. Here, listen to this. There's no cursing, there's no nothing. Here.
What aspect of life pays off for you in material the most? Is it flying on airplanes, sitting in restaurants?
You could hear, right?
A conversation between two married people, siblings. What is it? Where do you get?
I think I get a lot at parties and dinner parties where there's a lot of social interaction and awkwardness and regrets and faux pas and just think when humans get together like that, it's fraught with tension.
What was the thing?
Social intercourse is really my second trick.
What was the thing I don't want to screw it up, but what was the thing at my birthday party
Jeff Garland.
You walked up to me and what did you say? If you don't remember, I can paraphrase, but if you remember, I want you to say it.
I think I said, I have nothing more to add here.
No, you have nothing more to contribute.
I have nothing more to contribute.
He just walked up to me and he goes, I have nothing more to contribute.
That's me.
And I burst out laughing and went, you can leave. You know? But I just thought that was the funniest thing as an exit line. I have nothing more to contribute.
They're just death, you know? I know you've got to get out of your house.
Listen.
People can't stand being in their house, so you're invited someplace, and you go, and as soon as you walk in the door, oh my God, it's death. It's death.
Listen.
I can't believe it. Oh, I'm talking to this person. How am I going to get out of this conversation? What am I going to say to get away? And your mind is racing, as if you're going to go to jail if you don't come up with something, you know. And you grasp at straws. I gotta get a drink, you know. I gotta go to the bathroom, yeah. And you look at friends, help, you know. It's a nightmare. It truly is. I cannot do it. It's so exhausting.
Are you an introvert or an
That's me, man.
What show was he on? Was he on Conan?
No, this is like an interview at the not the Y, with 92nd Street Y interview with Brian Williams. Just one of these interviews, you know, like him and Jeff Garland were on the, you know, stage.
Yeah.
Whatever. One of these
That's
things.
another. You know, we used Larry David, another person who needed care, medical and psychological care, and then didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then But anyway, no, I can totally. I'm with him on the dinner party stuff and those type of interactions. I'm fully on board with his idea about how to run things.
Yeah.
He could be the president of dinner party licenses.
Yes.
Okay?
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Like he has to. He'll be like that. He'll be almost Japanese about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was it? Get Schmavin McInnes.
Yeah.
Remember he said he goes the best president that we could have is just an old Japanese man, right? Mr. President, we have a social.
Yes.
We have a new social.
No. Harakiri.
No.
No, harakiri.
No, make eye contact. No.
No. It sounds like what's her name? The Consuela from Family Guy.
Consuela, yeah.
No, Mr. Griffin.
Yeah, like the Japanese Consuela. No.
Mr. No.
No, lemon pledge.
Lemon pledge, no.
I found it.
What did you find?
The Rambam.
What did you find?
Okay, so this is in chapter 12, section 2. It says, our sages taught there will be no, quote, there will be no difference between the current age and the Messianic era in the first part, that is, after he comes, except for the emancipation from our subjugation to the Gentile kingdoms. Okay, so I think we were well into that, by the way.
Subjugation of the Gentile. Oh yeah, we are.
So
that's the argument that's made against like Satmar and Neturei Karta when we say, they say, oh, we can't be, the whole thing of we can't be subjugated too much, and they, because what is it, the state of Israel, this whole thing with Shir Shirim and all this.
No, but no, that's what people assume, that we're talking about the state of, that the Rambam's talking about the state of Israel. He's just talking about Jews in the world.
Yeah.
Basically, they're not subjugated by the Gentile kingdoms. What does that mean? That means that the governments are leaving you alone. They're not passing decrees saying that you can't observe Torah.
Yeah.
That's what it means. You understand? When it comes to the Rambam or anything or any rabbi saying a statement like that, he's not talking about emancipation to go to the beach.
Yeah.
The only emancipation at all that matters to these rabbis at all is whether or not the government allows you to study Torah and to do the commandments. That's it. They don't care about it. They wouldn't care if the government made you wear a burqa walking down the street.
Yeah.
They wouldn't care about that. As long as they allow you to go to synagogue to not pass decrees like governments have in the past about doing anything Torah observant.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's important little nuance. Yeah. Okay, so here's what he says. So I'm just going to read it through. So there will be no difference between the current age and the Messianic era except the emancipation from our subjugation to the Gentile kingdoms, which means emancipation in order to be able to do the Torah. Okay. The simple interpretation of the prophet's words appear to imply that the war of Gog and Magog will take place at the beginning of the Messianic age. Before the war of Gog and Magog, a prophet will arise to inspire Israel to be upright and prepare their hearts. That's probably the Baal Shem Tov. Behold, I am sending you Elijah. Okay. That's from Malachi, or Malachi, chapter 3, verse 22. Now here's the part that pertains to our conversation. He will not come to declare the pure impure, or to declare the impure pure. Listen, and further he continues. He will not dispute the lineage of those presumed to be of proper pedigree.
Listen, man, can I pause you for 1 second?
Let me just finish.
I'm being called to by the Balabais. Into.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Is that cool with you? I'm sorry.
No, actually, you have to ignore the Balabais and talk to me.
We are back. Okay.
We are back.
Yes.
For the folks at home, it was less than a second for us.
Yes.
An entire life age of the earth. Okay, so we were. I wanted to finish reading the excerpt from the Rambam, magnum opus. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe
Is
opus.
Is opus just a music thing? Let me see.
Not
Hold
to
on.
be
Let me find
confused
out
with
what
Opus Dei.
No. Opus. Let's see. There's this term magnum opus. I want to know if that could be used carte blanche, or it's very, very specific. In the classical period, the Latin word opus, work or labor, plural opera, was used to identify, list, and catalog a work of art. So was the Rambam's? It was definitely not a work of art. I wouldn't say that. So opus is not the correct. I retract my statement. It was his magnum achievement. Okay. His masterpiece. Now that's also art. Anyway, it was a big deal. Okay, because he wrote a book explaining all 613 commandments and how to fulfill them. To this day, the Rambam is the only such work that we have that discusses all the 630 commandments. The other books that we have, the Shulchan Aruch, focus on the ones that we have access to in exile. Okay. That's why the Lubavitcher Rebbe, wanted people to learn Rambam every day.
Yeah.
Because very soon, we're going to need to know all these laws because we're going to be living in Israel. We'll have access to all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but we were talking about how you mentioned that there are some rabbis that said that when Mashiach comes, it'll be revealed who was really Jewish, and we'll find out that some of the people we thought were Jews really weren't Jews, and they don't have good pedigree, and this, that. So listen to the words of the Rambam. Also, it's very possible that Greg and I both are misrepresenting what those rabbis meant when they said that.
Yes.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah.
But in any case, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he will not, this is the text now, he will not come to declare the pure impure, or to declare the impure pure. He will not dispute the lineage of those presumed to be of proper pedigree, nor will he validate the pedigree of those whose lineage is presumed blemished. Rather, he will establish peace within the world, as it said in Malachi, in chapter 3, verse 24, where it says, he will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children. Okay, so let me see. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to focus on that. So that's not going to be something. That's not going to be a theme. And when Mashiach comes, he's not going to promote people to care whether or not somebody, oh, I always suspected him. That's not what Mashiach is coming to do. Okay, so basically, hold on. So there are some sages who say.
Maybe it's not. Maybe Mashiach won't do it. Maybe just the emes will be seen, and we'll see it on our own. Is that a possibility?
Well, I think that eventually all will be seen, right?
Yeah.
But by the time that circumstance occurs, we won't be the type of people who give a damn about.
Yeah, that's true.
Stuff like that.
That's true.
So there are some sages who say that Elijah's coming will precede the coming of the Mashiach. All these and similar matters cannot be definitely known by man until they actually occur. But these matters are undefined in the prophet's words. And even the wise men have no established tradition regarding these matters except their own interpretation of the verses. That's as far as the Rambam knew. Okay? There are actually, I think there may be some actual legit traditions, although not learned by everybody. Therefore, there is a controversy among them regarding these matters. Regardless of the debate concerning these questions, neither the order of the occurrence of these events or their precise detail are among the fundamental principles of faith. A person should not occupy himself with... Okay, we read that already. Similarly, one should not try to determine the appointed time. Yeah, okay, unless you live in the end of history like us, when there's no more time left to... there's no more guessing time.
Yeah.
We're out of time. You know, there's.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the era of the Messianic King, one kingdom has been established. So I'm just scanning this because I know there's more comments. Okay, here we go. Now listen. He will purify the lineage of the Levites. That has to happen.
Interesting. That makes sense.
So yeah, because Levites have to serve. They have to be descendants of Levi, and then the Kohanim have to be descendants of Aaron. By the way, in Gemara Sukkot, it talks about 4 different messianic figures who come, not just Eliyahu, but actually you have not Malki Tzedek. You have the Kohen Tzedek. It's described there. The Kohen Tzedek, which means the righteous priest, and Eliyahu HaNavi, and Mashiach ben Yosef, and Mashiach ben David. These are called the 4 craftsmen of the redemption. All right, wise guys, not the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, Christians, okay?
Yeah.
These are the 4 craftsmen of the redemption. What's interesting is that, you know who the Kohen Tzedek is?
Who?
Shem.
That makes sense.
Okay, so basically it says when he defines, he will purify the lineage of the Levites first, stating he is a priest of defined lineage. He is a Levite of defined lineage. Those whose lineage he will not recognize will be brought to the state of an Israelite. Okay, this is implied by Ezra chapter 2 verse 63, where it says the governor said to them, they should not eat of the most holy things until a priest arises who will wear the Urim Tumim. From this verse, you can infer that the prophetic spirit will be used to define and notify the pedigree of lineage for the Levitical priesthood. When he defines the lineage of the Israelites, he will make known their tribal lineage alone. Okay, stating he is from this tribe and he is from another tribe. He will not, by contrast, state concerning a person who is presumed to be of unblemished lineage, saying, oh, he is illegitimate, or he is of slave lineage. For the law is, once a family has become intermingled with the entire Jewish people, they will remain intermingled.
Interesting.
You see how it's, yeah. So basically, the only pedigree that he's very strict with is the Levitical pedigree, which is very understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, because God said only Levites can approach and work in the temple, and only the Kohanim can do specific things in the temple. So that is, that's. But everything else, look, he'll tell you what tribe you're from, But he's not gonna tear you down.
Yeah.
He's not gonna knock you down a peg or two, as they say.
Understood.
So God bless that. All right, so the seriousness is now over, and I'm back to joshing. What shall we josh about? What the hell are we talking about before this?
What did I want to say? I wanted to say something to you, and it just slipped my mind. I thought of it as I was eating with the balabayas. Oh my goodness! It just like.
I'd like to. Can I? While you're here, I have something that I can read, which I think is very important. That we started and before. I wanted to finish the kavanot. For the Ana B'Koach.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is a continuation of something that we spoke about in episode 42. Okay, so we only read the kavanot up until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because episode 42 was on a Tuesday. Okay, so now I'm going to read Wednesday's kavanah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, just to recall, the Ana B'Koach prayer or meditation is 6 words per line, and there are 7 lines in total. Okay, so 6 times 7 is 42. That's one of the 42s that's in there. Okay, and what's done is that when you take the first letter of each of these words, right? These 6 words in a line, they form the name of the 42-letter name of God. Mm-hmm. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just double check that. I'm always worried I'm not getting it right. It's because I don't get it right so often.
You're not that bad.
Well, I'm not that good either. So there's that. Okay, so I try to keep it real, son. If you're ever gonna make progress, you gotta keep it real.
I came up with okay. So you know how we? Oh my god! I just remembered what I wanted to mention. You know how we talk about use the term smokestack?
Yes, sir.
So the term smokestack is derived from smoke show. And if you translate the word smoke show into Russian, it's dymny spektakel, which is basically a smoke spectacle. Or a smoke play. Like a stage play.
A theater performance.
Yeah, a theater performance. It's dymny spektakel. That's all I want. Dymny, like dimly. full of smoke.
Right, dymny
spectacle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
No, I think that it's fine. I think it makes sense. But I think dim is probably we're missing the mark here. Okay. Because a smoke show is really just kind of like it's trying to make you think about like water vapor.
Yeah.
rising off something that's very, very hot.
Yeah.
Right? You're so hot that like it's like there's like it looks like there's steam coming off. So it's like steam rather than smoke.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like a steam stack.
There's an article on some blog. Is smoke show a compliment or an insult? The Bachelorette fans debate after new episode. What? God.
Idiots. It's just clearly a compliment, you fools.
I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I just don't know. Mark Wahlberg wishes smoke show wife Rhea Durham a happy birthday. That's all you get. Anyway.
You know, I thought I had like sometimes when I read about Esau's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like Esau's kind of like a misunderstood like frum kid. You know, he's not a perfect tzaddik, but he's kind of he's like that. He's like the frum kid who's grown up in a frum family, but he's having some some struggles. You know what I mean? Kind of like. Yeah. But then when I heard he had a proclivity for adultery, meaning he was specifically interested in that activity. And to me, married ladies are gross. It doesn't matter whose wife. It doesn't matter what a smokestack you are. If you're somebody's wife, I mean, all right, that's it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're a wife, already. Like
that's true.
Like so, like that. So that in that sense, I cannot relate to Esau at all.
Yeah.
Glad, happily.
That's true.
Okay. So it looks like I was correct. That indeed, since there are 6 words per line, and then there are 7 lines in total, so that would be a total of 42 words. So 42 words have 42 first letters, don't they, Greg?
Yes, they do.
All right. So the first letters of each one of these words, if you were to read all 42 letters, that would be a name of God that is forbidden, difficult to say, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But had you been able to say it, it would be forbidden. Okay? It's one of the reasons it's forbidden is because of its power.
Yeah.
This is one of the formulas that God used to create creation, existence, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, so we did So the first line of this prayer, which is you have the words Ana Bekoach Gedulat Yamincha Tatir Tzarura. Okay, that would be and we heard the kavanot related to that. That would be the first day of the week, Sunday. Okay, so the second line of this prayer is regards to Monday. So that would be Kabel Rinat Amecha Sagveno Tahareno Nora. Okay, and then the third line is for Tuesday, like you said. So it's Na Gibor Dorshe Yehudcha. I'm sorry, Yehudecha Kivavat Shom Rem. Okay, now we come to Wednesday, and so we're going to read about Wednesday now. So Wednesday is Barchem Tehorem Rachmei Tzidkatecha Tamid Gamlem. Okay, so let's see now. Where is this article? Come on, article. Don't fail me now. Where's the damn article, Greg? What you do to it?
I don't know.
Why did you do this?
I know not.
Oh, I found it. Okay, all right, fine. All right, here we go. Wednesday. So when you take the first letters of the words on the fourth line of this prayer, of this meditation, right? So you get an acronym, okay, which is pronounced as Batar Tzatak, okay? So, and these are actually words. They form words. So tar, right, is a crown, or like an atara is a crown, but it's more like what do they call? You have like different types of crowns. You have like the what do like princesses wear? You know, like it's not a full crown. It's kind of like a diadem. Is that right? A diadem. You know what I'm talking about, Greg?
Diadem?
A diadem. Is that a diadem? Am I making stuff up now? Is this just literally coming out of my own head?
1 second.
Diadem. No, a jeweled crown or a headband worn as a symbol of sovereignty.
Yeah, jeweled. Yes. That's what that is.
So atara. So keter is a crown. Atara is a diadem type of crown. Okay, it's a different type of crown. Okay, so so that would be the first part of this acronym, which turns into a word. Okay, then you have bet and tzaddik, right? So it's atar. I think he actually. I'm not sure why he did it in this words. It's a little bit out of order, but still, I mean, these words do exist in this. So you have the bat and the tzaddik, okay? They numerically equaling 92, indicating 92 angels on high. There are this list of 92 angels that those who are into angelology, you know, from the Jewish sources are aware of these 92 angels, okay? And then you also have the word tag. It ends with the word tag. Tag is also a crown. That's another word for crown. You know, like tagin.
Yeah.
Right. So
yes.
Tagin are the crowns that are found on the Hebrew letters. When you open up the Torah scroll, you'll see that some letters are adorned with these little tiny lines, which actually look like miniature letter Zions. Okay, and there are some letters have one crown, some letters have three crowns. Okay, and the letters that have crowns are called, or is it the letters that don't have crowns are called shatnez gats? But whatever. Okay, so you have these four ideas actually, that are kind of encoded in the acronym of this line of this prayer. Okay, so you have tar, which is an atara. You have bet, which is a house, and you have tzaddik, which is a righteousness. Okay, and then when you put them together, the house of righteousness somehow corresponds to the 92 angels that are on high. Okay, and then you have another type of crown, a tag. Okay, so a very interesting theme that's developing here. Now, on the fourth day, which is Wednesday, there's an allusion to two crowns, which rule over and guide the earth, and angels. Angels being the mazal, the guiding forces of creation. Quote, there is no blade of grass that does not have a mazal, an angel, over it, that gently taps it continuously and says, grow. That's from Midrash Bereshit Rabbah, chapter 10, verse 6. Okay, now, the double sets of crowns refer to the two great rulers of the earth, the sun and moon, both of which were fully created and began functioning appropriately on the fourth day. Okay, now, if you open up the first chapter of the Torah, right, you'll see that God created two luminaries, the big one to rule by day and the smaller one to rule by night. So it's that language is actually literally used right there in the text, in the scripture. So, okay, so so Wednesday, so hold on. So functioning appropriately on the fourth. Double sets of crowns refer to the two great rulers of the earth, sun and the moon, both of which were fully created and began functioning appropriately on the fourth day. Yeah, these were these luminaries that the sun and the moon, they were created on the fourth day. And in this prayer, this is the fourth line of the prayer. Okay, and there are 7 lines in this prayer. So I think people, we're developing, I think there's a pattern emerging here. Okay, so Wednesday embodies circular motion, orbit, sun and moon, and the mazalot, stars, the planets. On a personal level, if Tuesday is the beginning of routine, Wednesday is deep routine. The third day in a row of repetition. Yeah. It is apparent circular motion, which also allows us to have a sense of perseverance. Wednesday's meditation is on all of the crowns above our head. We meditate on how we need to be the crowned ones, the rulers, the masters of our life, not to get stuck in routine and be mastered by the work that we do throughout the week. Instead, we must be our own masters with the power of the master of the universe to master our own lives. Kavanah on Wednesday is netzach, victory. That's the sphera that Wednesday is associated with. Okay? Netzach is victory, perseverance. The consciousness that we should attain on this day is perseverance and mastery. And the energy that we should try to feel is endurance. Okay. Now, very interesting that there's this crown theme, because the last conversation we had, if you recall, you remember we were talking about how the nefesh, right, is a signal that our brain picks up. Our brain is a receiver which receives our signal. Our signal is us. You recall that?
Yeah.
We talked about that, right?
We were speaking about that, yeah.
And then I was saying how Gerald Schroeder was talking about some serious work and studies that were being done on this, that consciousness and who we really are is non-local, meaning it's not contained in your body. Your body does not produce it, and it doesn't even exist within your body. You who you are, right, or where you are experiencing the signals that your body is receiving, right? The light that's going into your eyes so you can see objects, the sounds that are going into your ears, the touches that you're feeling on your skin, and all the senses, okay? Where is that information being experienced? It's not in the body.
Yeah.
Okay? So what's interesting also, there was talk of how your brain, right, again, is a receiver, and there's a morphic field, some kind of vortex, right, that is above your head, where the signal is condensed and filtered, okay? And that signal is you, by the way. You are the signal. I mean, we're calling a person, the true consciousness of a person, a signal. Okay, which is being received by the brain. What's interesting is that they're referring to it as a morphic field, but if I recall, I think it has a vortex-like nature. What is a vortex? A vortex is a part of a geometric shape which is called a torus.
Yes, torus.
Right.
Right,
not a torus, not a four torus.
No, yeah. And
it's spelled the same way.
No, it's not. It's Torus, and actually it's a donut shape. This is a Rabbi Bax.
A donut shape, a lifesaver, a bagel.
Rabbi Bax.
But not just that. It's a spinning. Right. Rabbi Bax talks about all the time. It's a spinning.
The Torus.
It's not a stationary, static donut. It is a spinning donut. So you have this kind of this toroidal nature to this morphic field, which goes into which is the signal that we receive, which is really us. That's what we really are. Okay. Yeah. Now, what's interesting is that the torus, right? That is the shape of the crown.
Yeah.
That's the shape of a crown. A crown sitting on someone's head is something like a thin bagel shape. That's just sitting on the head. That's the classic crown. Yeah. Keter. Okay. So you have this. We talked about that just yesterday, and then today we're reading this. And did we speak about it? I think we spoke about it on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Partially. Briefly.
Now, Greg, had you not bitched out yesterday, we would have been talking about this kavana on the right day. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes. Thank you for that non-exposure exposure.
Weak. No, just playing. I was exhausted too. All right. I was exhausted. All right, so shall we move on? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't move on from this. This is something that I really wanted to say last time, because I like to talk a lot, and I think people know that by now. So, Gerald Schroeder, one of his lectures online, he was talking about there's a scientist, a man whose name is, I think his name is Olafsson. Okay, hold on. He was doing research about out-of-body experience. Okay? There's not too many, hold on, that people who do serious scientific work on it, okay? But there have been some, and they've done very serious work. Just a second. And I only heard about this guy because of Gerald Schroeder. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just looking it up. I just want to make sure I got this man's, for the folks at home. Out of body, Olaf Blanc. Olaf Blanc. That is his name. Okay? So he was doing experiments where he actually triggered out-of-body experiences. Okay? Yeah. Where he didn't, because he's a materialist, or he's a scientist who wants to get grants, so he's not saying he's not literally admitting to what is obvious. Okay, so he was talking about people, and he has a TED Talk. He has a lot of he's a relatively young dude, and I highly recommend hearing his lectures. Okay, so he was talking about experiments that he was doing where people would float on the ceiling looking down at everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they'd be able to describe it. They would be on the bed, and then something would be done to their something would be stimulated in their mind, in their brain, and then they would have an out-of-body experience where they would be looking at everybody in the room from a different perspective. Okay, so I don't think that he's allowed technically by the priesthood of scientism, right? Yeah. Scientology, scientism, not Scientology. Scientology is another different.
Yes, it's a different kind of cult.
Yeah. So he still works within the environment of scientism, right? So he can't come out and say anything outright, hoping that people who see this research have enough common sense to understand, if you can think for yourself, then you can. Anyway, so So this is a great. So electrodes trigger out of body experience. This is a 2002 article or study published in Nature.
Yeah.
Stimulating. This is the abstract. Okay. Stimulating brain region elicits illusion, often attributed to the paranormal. Okay, right away they have to nip it in the bud right away.
Yep.
Make sure that you don't come to the wrong conclusion.
Goodbye, spirituality. Hello, douchebags.
So here's what it says. Activity in one region of the brain could explain out-of-body experiences. Researchers in Switzerland have triggered the phenomenon using electrodes. People describe out-of-body experiences as feeling that their consciousness becomes detached from their body, often...
Hello? Hello? Oh, these were connecting. Just 1 second, sir. Ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Hello. Hello. Bueller. Okay. Just 1 sec, my friend.
Yo.
Not sure what happened there.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I mean, they're definitely jamming us. That's nuts. That has to be it, right?
There's something with the internet here also. Whatever. But yeah, it could be.
Okay, so what's the last thing? What's the last thing you heard?
Something about the out of body experience, and you were getting into, and they were saying how like it's not whatever, and no, you were saying
Okay, yeah. So I'll just kind of quickly reread it just to So it says activity in one region of the brain could explain out of body experiences. Researchers in Switzerland have triggered the phenomenon using electrodes. People describe out-of-body experiences as feeling that their consciousness becomes detached from their body, often floating above it. Because these lucid states are popularly linked to the paranormal, quote, a lot of people are reluctant to talk about them, says neurologist Olaf Blanc of Geneva University Hospital in Switzerland. Blanc found that electrically stimulating one brain region, the right, which is the right angular gyrus, repeatedly triggers out-of-body experiences. Blanc and his team were using electrodes to excite the brain of a woman being treated for epilepsy. The right angular gyrus integrates visual information, the sight of your body, and information that creates the mind's representation of your body. This is based on balance and feedback from your limbs about their position in space. It makes perfect sense, agrees Peter Brugger of University Hospital Zurich in Switzerland, who studies the phenomenon. Quote, we have representations of our entire body that can be dissociated from our real body.
We have a presentation of our entire body that can be disassociated from nanobots.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. But he says this is an isolated case, he points out.
This is an isolated. This is misinformation.
He is so
case.
He is so stupid. He is profoundly stupid.
Yes.
Okay. With gentle stimulation, the woman could speak during the operation. Who could speak during the operation felt she was falling or growing lighter. As the intensity increased, she told him, I see myself lying in bed from above. When asked to look at her raised arm, she thought it was coming to punch her. This observation suggests that alien hand syndrome. You see, they're always deflecting to something immediately that's not. When people feel that a limb is foreign or a phantom limb. Okay, phantom limb is a completely different phenomenon where people who, unfortunately, who have lost the limb, they feel like it's neurological.
It's a neurological phenomenon. Yeah, like connected with their brain and whatever.
So fine. If you want to say that it's connected, perhaps there's a connection. Okay, but don't immediately deflect to something that's tertiary.
Yeah.
Focus on the phenomenon that she's describing.
Yeah.
You arseholes.
You fucking asshole. They hung me on the hook once. Yeah.
Once. When asked to look at her raised arm, okay, here we said that. Weird science. Out-of-body experiences are incredibly common, says clinical neurologist John Marshall of the Radcliffe Infirmary in Oxford, UK. Some are part of near-death experiences. Okay, so I'm going to stop reading this. because if anybody wants to know about near-death experience, there is one person who actually published recently.
I thought you were going to say about
a gigantic study.
I thought you were going to say Alone on the
Dr. Sam Parnia.
Oh, okay, fine.
Dr. Sam Parnia. He's actually a British guy, and he. So basically, the conclusion that he comes to is that consciousness. He has essentially proven, that consciousness continues after death, and he proved that it continues after death up till 4 hours. It doesn't mean it stops at 4 hours. He just couldn't. He can't prove it with his data.
Yeah.
That's as far as his data goes.
Yeah.
I highly recommend people look this up. Okay, so life after death, out of body, non-local consciousness, essentially is being done in science all the time. Except you're not allowed to say it.
Yeah. Yep.
You got to deflect immediately, just like everything else.
It's just incredible to me how people, again, everybody. It's like one of the most famous cars in the world is Tesla, right? So you would think that people would stumble upon, in looking up Tesla, a quote from, what is it called? Tesla himself about science, or just all his quotes. See, it says, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence." Why aren't people listening to him?
No, Tesla is he's like Galileo under house arrest.
Serious?
Permanently.
Yeah. Gosh.
Okay?
Yeah.
The priesthood put Galileo in house arrest for publishing something that was inconvenient to be published for them.
Can I read you another quote from Tesla? Which I never heard before, which is interesting.
Please.
"I am trying to awake the energy contained in the air. These are the main sources of energy. What is considered as empty space is just a manifestation of matter that is not yet awakened." Holy crap. Are you freaking kidding me? The dude was talking about like Wi-Fi in this, Wi-Fi, satellites, waves, this. Like, seriously, man. Like, can we just admit that this is what, we have to look deeper than what we can see? It's obvious.
Okay, I didn't want to have to do this, but I think we're going to have to get into...
Merlot?
We're going to have to get into the Tesla angle.
Okay. Here, another one. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This one we've heard.
He also said something about the numbers 3, 6, and 9.
Hold on.
See if you can... Yeah.
Hold on.
Just Tesla 369. See what he says.
This is not a Jewish person, as far as we know. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key. You would have a key to the universe. What does that even mean?
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on.
So Tesla openly admitted to receiving visions from beings outside of the Earth.
Here,
that gave him his ideas.
Can I just read real quick? There was like some bloggers that talk about why 3, 6, and 9.
It doesn't matter if he wasn't Jewish, by the way.
No, I know. It's a universal wisdom. Here. Although it's uncertain whether the great inventor actually uttered the famous quote, there's no question he was indeed obsessed by the numbers. What did they mean to him? Why did Tesla think that 3, 6, and 9 were important? It has to do with complicated mathematics in human history. For example, doubling 1 and then 2 and so on creates a pattern that excludes 3, 6, and 9. Scientist Marco Rodin believes that 369 then represents a flux field or a vector from the third to the fourth dimension. Threes also appear often in human history. Triangles have 3 sides, as do pyramids. Trinities are abound in human history, as are in the Father and Son and the Holy Pots. Tesla himself would point to the trifecta of energy, frequency, and vibration, which he believed contained a secret to the universe.
Sorry, Christians, you don't own the number 3
Sorry.
or there's lots of trinities out there.
Remember the board game? Sorry. In his life, Tesla manifested his obsession in numerous ways. He would walk 3 times around the block before entering a building. Tesla would wash his dishes with 18 napkins. 18 is divisible by 9, 6, and 3. The inventor would also only stay in hotel rooms that had a room number divisible by 3. At the end of his life, Tesla bounced between cheap hotels, and he died in room 3327. What does Tesla have to do?
On the 33rd floor.
Holy crap. Yeah, right? What does that Tesla
Listen, so hold on. 3-3, right, obviously, okay?
Yeah,
the 33rd floor, okay, obviously. But 2-7 is 3 times 3, isn't it? No, it's 3 to the 3rd.
Yes.
3 to the 3rd.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Listen to this.
Isn't it, Greg?
Yes, it is, Frank. What does Tesla have to do with 369 manifestation method? Today, Tesla's 369 theory has new life thanks to an unlikely sword. TikTok. What the heck? Their users seek to achieve their goals by using a simple method. They write down what they manifest, like a promotion, for example, 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times... Oh, interesting. 9 times in the evening. The belief is that the repetition will manifest what a person desires, in part because the special nature of the number is 369. It may not exactly be exactly what Nikola Tesla envisioned when he obsessed over 3 magical numbers, but it's proof that the power of his ideas hasn't dimmed. That's it. So, what I'm surprised about is... Why has no one made a movie about Tesla?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's under house arrest.
Oh, here you go. Tesla 2020 film. Biographical drama.
It was weird. It was centered around some...
Ethan Hawke.
I think it was
Ethan Hawke.
It was like... Ethan Hawke, really?
Yeah, Eve Hewson, Eben Moss Backrack, Jim Gaffigan, and Kyle MacLachlan. Who the hell did Jim Gaffigan play? Let's see. Kyle MacLachlan played Thomas Edison. Jim Gaffigan played George Westinghouse. Eve Hewson played Anne Morgan, philanthropist. Hannah Gross, Mina Edison. Donnie Keshawars played J.P. Morgan, like the original J.P. Morgan. Let's see. What is this plot? Saw electricity when petting his cat. 1884, New York City, adult Nikola Tesla is Ethan Hawke, working for Thomas Edison. Kyle MacLachlan, who doesn't seem to regard Tesla highly. He is told by a coworker that it may be because Edison's wife had just died. They get into a work confrontation and smash ice cream cones in each other's faces. The narrator, revealed to be Anne Morgan, appears with a laptop, saying that this probably is not how it happened. She tells when you Google Tesla, you get many results, but only 3 or 4 photos, and proceeds to tell more about his past and how he had his first flash of the motor he would invent. She notes when you Google Edison, you get twice the results. The narrator explains his previous troubles and financial poverty until he's finally able to pitch his idea to people who will pay him more than Edison. The narrator tells how Edison meets his second wife, Mina. In 1885, Tesla continues work on his induction motor. This is assisted by his friend Anthony Szigeti from Budapest. They reveal their sparkless motor to high praise, and Tesla eventually meets Anne, the daughter of J.P. Morgan. Tesla presents his findings, and George Westinghouse buys the patents. Jim Gaffigan. Tesla is brought to Pittsburgh to oversee production. Westinghouse updates Tesla on rivalry between Edison's finding and Tesla's. Edison insists on his for the matters of execution. Edison says direct current is better and dismisses Tesla's alternating current.
And he's wrong. Alternating current, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what we ended up with. You know that maniac Edison actually electrocuted an elephant to show how...
I'm sorry,
the
whole thing just sounds hilarious.
In Coney Island.
You can idiot.
It's not hilarious at all.
I know, it's not. It's whack.
Only debil.
They should change the name of the town Edison, New Jersey to Tesla, New Jersey. Or Nikola. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, when Warden Cliff Tower in Long Island was built to the height of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid in Egypt, while he was building or finishing the plans to build Warden Cliff Tower, J.P. Morgan, who was at this time working with Tesla, was in Egypt, sending him like telegrams or about information, measurements, that he was taking in Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay?
Interesting.
There's so much unbelievable things going on here that it's much, so Tesla received information from beings from other dimensions on his own work. Okay? He felt that he received transmissions from, well, he thought it was Mars. Okay? Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He was also obsessed with sacred geometry and studying the ancient structures, especially the ones like, the ones that were built with precision, like the pyramid. Okay, and there's other structures too. Okay, who incidentally the most ancient and the most mysterious as to how they could have been constructed, not just by ancient man, but even today they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So people who are wise and who are learned, when they see something, they recognize right away its superiority, and they understood that something is going on here, but they're not sharing that information. Okay?
Crazy. There's a reason.
Hang on one second. I wanna. There was a kind of like, how like the History Channel, they have like these like shows, right?
Yeah.
So there is one of the shows was about Tesla. Let me find out. A moment. Okay. I have it. I recommend it. I don't often recommend History Channel content, but in this case, I will make.
Goodness.
Okay, so this is called. I'm searching. It's called.
I'm just gonna let this cat in. Meanwhile.
Do that.
He's going insane. Mr. Cat, hello, sir. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. What do you want me to do for you? I'm in this. I'm a guest in this house that I'm in right now because the floor of my family's house is being lacquered. Are you still there?
I am still here.
So we had to relocate the
searching.
cat here, and he is not eating, and he's behaving in a weird way, obviously because he's in a foreign territory.
Oh yeah. You take a cat, out of its environment. It's not happy.
Yeah, and also he's an outdoor cat, and things I don't want to let him outside because he doesn't really know where he is. He might not come back, So Hashem, tomorrow we'll come back to the house. He should be okay. Poor guy.
But like in Amazon where you go to find like the movies you already bought. Oh, there it is, the Tesla Files. The Tesla Files.
That's what it's called?
Okay, it's called the Tesla Files. It's on Amazon. There's only one season, which is absurd. This should have been the greatest show. This is the closest thing to a real Tesla movie.
I need to use the boys' room for like 30 seconds. Is that okay with you?
Please use it for longer.
Okay, fine.
And don't miss.
Okay, I need to pause this. Alright, I'll be back in a second.
Alright.
Alright, so we were talking about this Tesla Files thing.
The Tesla Files, this is a show. It was only one season, which is criminal. And it came out in 2018 on the History Channel. So the reason why I think that this is like the most kind of credible show, because of who they have in the cast.
Yeah.
Okay? So Travis, there's a scientist that they always have. He's like basically an astrophysicist and an engineer.
Travis Taylor. I'm looking at
Travis Taylor, right? So he's like he's like the main dude, and then there are serious researchers. There's the Tesla, probably one of the greatest like Tesla researchers. A guy named Mark Safer.
Mark Safer, yeah. Looks like a Jewish guy.
Yeah, and he collects he's like a real he really collects. He's into the details. Documents. He's been doing it like for decades, right?
Yeah.
So they got this guy, and then they have another guy who I think he was an investigative journalist who used to be. He's a special forces guy. And these are the three guys that are doing this.
Jason Stapleton.
So first,
Jason Stapleton is this guy?
Jason. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Business consultant, something.
Well, he's an investigative journalist.
Oh, here. Building largest community of digital entrepreneurs on Earth. Nomad Network. Interesting. Well, that's what it shows. Anyway.
Okay, so here's why I'm bringing this up. Okay, I just want to tell you. Here's why I'm bringing this up. So they go everywhere where Tesla was. Okay, they like, for instance, they go to Serbia, and they go there, and they ask there's a Tesla museum there, and the guy who's there is like, doesn't want to cooperate with them. You know what I mean? And he's like, he starts getting really uppity with Mark Safer. You know, because he's like, but you know, I have an FBI file over here. Here's a copy of it I got it from the Freedom of Information Act, right? Saying that there were like 80 something trunks full of Tesla's patents, his diagrams and designs, and all, you know, all his academic, all scientific writing. And then they're like, and he's like, no, I don't care what your FBI document says. There's only 60, you know, whatever. Yeah, you know, that's not a Serbian accent, but I think you guys get the point.
It's like Klaus Schwab talking all the time.
What did you say?
It's you're always defaulting to Klaus Schwab. I don't care.
It's not even Klaus Schwab.
I know,
it's just, now it's just some kind of generic
Eastern European
generic
guy.
continental European.
Central European. Yeah, it's like the guy who started World War One. Who was that guy? The shooter. The assassin.
The shooter. I thought. Well, it was
the guy who assassinated. Assassination of Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand. That's right.
Gavrilo Princip. That's like you're just like this Austro-Hungarian / Bosnian Serb / just
nondescript European, whatever.
Yeah, nondescript Central European guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. No, because Klaus Schwab is like this. He's been garbling mud for 9 years. Okay.
He has no. What's the other thing that we did? Nanobot. Oh no, the wearable.
You will become different. It is you. It's not the machine. Anyway,
wearables. You will become. We're going to turn you into a wearable. Yes, you will be worn. Anyway.
Yes, you will be worn in your sleep. I will get you in your sleep.
It's like hidden in plain sight. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Okay. So they go, whatever. So they are, anyway, they end up in this hotel in New York City. The building looks familiar. Okay, this is where he passed away. He lived in this hotel on the 33rd floor. And then they're asking the guy who was running the hotel. I'm not sure if the hotel is still active or it's serving just as like a landmark now. And the manager of the hotel, he wanted, they're like, can you show us where he stayed? Can you show us, like, what did he do here? Like, is there some place that he went to? Is there some other part of the hotel that where he spent his time? And he goes, yeah. He showed him this like, kind of like big room with all this equipment and all. It was basically like, it was a utility room for a hotel. But there's a lot of other stuff going on there. There's all these control panels and strange, devices that were still kind of there, just rotting away. Yeah. And then with Mark Safer, he had some documents that showed that he had this idea for this transmission tower, which would transmit energy. Okay, and this is what he wanted to do with the Wardenclyffe Tower. And this is with J.P. Morgan. This is a venture he was doing with J.P. Morgan was financing it when he realized what Tesla was trying to do, that this was about transmitting free energy. Yeah.
He was like,
he put a stop to it. You can't control it.
Yep. Can't have free. Can't have cheap repurposed medicines either.
Right.
Same story, different era, different industry.
So listen to this. Listen to this. So he was building an antenna, okay, in the hotel that he was living.
Who? Tesla. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. This is I know it sounds crazy, but you have to watch. Look, watch the show and then dissect it and then see if if this is all just kind of like.
I'll watch it, Jerry. I'll watch it.
No, but yeah, exactly. So listen.
I'm making that hand movement that Kramer makes with his hand, but like you can't see it now.
Right.
I'll watch it, Jerry. I'll watch it.
Right. So check this out. Okay. So you know who loves Tesla?
Who?
Dan Aykroyd.
Nice. Why would a guy like Elon Musk name his car Tesla if he's like this?
He's not. It's kind of like why would somebody who has the views of a socialist call themselves a Democrat? It's the same idea.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about controlling the language.
It's about
if you seize the language.
Hijacking. Yeah. It's almost like these Schmovidians they're hijacking the they're basically hijacking the reveal of all their crap now. You know, by apologizing for it, by backtracking, by this, by saying it's a mistake. We made mistakes. You ain't make no mistakes, mother effer. That's deliberate. You ain't stupid. I see you. Anyway.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to read the plot to something, but before I finish describing this thing, hold on. Plot to. One second. I don't want to. Okay. All right. So basically, Tesla, he's built. So the thing that didn't work out with Wardenclyffe Tower in Long Island, right? It was abandoned. It was complete. By J.P. Morgan. He stopped the funding, and he couldn't follow through with it because of that. So he basically it would seem that he continued his work in secret, and with an unknown financier. And the hotel was being used as the tower, because the main part of the tower, okay, that he built in Long Island, it was really about its height. He needed that particular height, okay, and also the full scale of the tower was not what was above ground. It included things that went deep below the ground, that coincided or that it interacted with a water source, an underground water source. Yeah. This is the basic design of the pyramid, by the way, in Egypt, and many other structures. Okay, so the hotel that he stayed at was a similar height. The floor that he was on, the hotel itself, with the additions that he was planning to it, would be the correct height that he needed for this tower that he was building. That wasn't only to transmit free energy, but it was to receive signals. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm just telling you. I'm not making stories up. I'm telling you what Tesla said.
Yes.
Okay.
As I'm trying to stop the cat from eating the. Speaking of coils, I'm trying to stop the cat from eating my Mac charger.
I'm doing a search on Google to see how many patents did Tesla have. Registered patents did Tesla have? People need to understand what this man has done. Tesla had a total of 112 registered U.S. patents, while the total of Tesla's patents in other countries have not yet been definitively determined.
That's
To
crazy.
date, 196 patents held by Tesla
That is
have been
absolutely-
identified from 26 countries.
That is absolutely insane. That's all I have to say.
List
Absolute
of Nikola
insanity.
Tesla's patents.
No.
It's a very long list. They have it on Wikipedia.
You could
Literally.
you could read it. I mean, some of it, you know.
Okay, so
Of what we can understand, you can read it. What's up?
Okay, so U.S. I'm going to read the U.S. patents.
Yeah.
He has Great Britain
Yeah.
patents too. So, U.S. patent RE11865, method of insulating electric conductors, 1900. God. U.S. patent 1655, 1,655,114, apparatus for aerial transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Electric vehicle, electric aircraft. Okay. U.S. patent 1,655,113.
Yeah.
Method of aerial transportation 1928 VTOL airplane.
I have a whole
Verti-
PDF. So I hate to pause you. I have a whole PDF list here from the Nikola Tesla Museum.org of all of them, from like the first one to the last one. Or you're reading? Is that like what kind, the list you're reading is like random dates or?
No, it's I guess it's patents listed in order.
Ah, okay, yeah, this is chronological. Filing date, grant date. Ah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had a patent for a vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. We have that now. It's called the Osprey. It's new, relatively new in the American arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they actually described that in the show because the patent was so close to what the Osprey is now.
Yeah.
That it's like why did it take 100 years?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Because maybe we just didn't have. I mean, I don't know if we could say we didn't have the technology.
No, it's because we're being kept back artificially.
It's crazy.
Okay, the frequency meter. I'm not going to read the number of the patent. I'm just going to read the actual thing. The frequency meter, 1922. It ascertains the periodic electric frequency and electric oscillation by the rotation of reciprocation of an electromechanical device. Okay. Flow meter, 1921, related to a meter of measurement for velocity and quantity of fluid flow. Valvular. What'd you say?
No, I was going to say he has a lot of British patents.
Yeah. So, it's improvement in electric lamps, improvements in reciprocating engines, improvements in methods and apparatus for the generation of electrical currents in defined period, improvements in dynamo electric machines, improvements relating to the electrical transmission of power and apparatus thereof, 1888.
Yeah.
Improvements in alternating current, electromagnetic motors, 1891. 1891, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I mean, he has hundreds of these. Basically, if you really carefully look at his patents, you'll see that essentially most of our technology is based off of his idea.
That's absolutely crazy.
Okay, so in the show, okay, so he wanted to create this free energy transmission tower, but also which receives transmissions, not just transmits. Okay, so and it was being financed by not sure who. You had intelligence agents, FBI, staying in rooms on the same floor and listening in on his phone calls and stuff like that. So he had carrier pigeons. He communicated with carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. So here's actually what I'm coming to, finally, in a very, very long-winded way. You needed that. So check this out. It would seem that the plot for Ghostbusters was literally based off of Nikola Tesla's.
Wow.
It was slightly adapted, because in Ghostbusters, you have they say he was a doctor. They called him, what was the name that they used in the movie? Hold on. Who built the guy? And they were going to include this guy in the movie, and it was going to be played by Pee Wee Herman. So, who built Ghostbuster building? That's probably the fastest way to find this. Okay, 55 Central Park West. Okay, that's the movie in the Ghostbusters. Okay, so that's the building. So it's a real building, but it's not going to talk about. It's okay. Hold on. It's portrayed. Okay, via. Ivo Shandor. Listen to this. The building holds significance in American popular culture as it was prominently featured in the 1984 comedy Ghostbusters. In the film 550 Central Park West, known as the Shandor Building.
Yeah.
The Shandor Apartments, or Spook Central, as it was dubbed by Dan Aykroyd. It was the residence of the Ghostbusters' first client, Sigourney Weaver. They later learned it had been designed and constructed by an insane architect and surgeon, Ivo Shandor. Nondescript kind of Eastern European name. You know what I mean? Okay? So, who founded and led a secret society in 1920, the Cult of Gozer, consisting of almost 1,000 followers. So the cult was dedicated to the worship of Gozer the Gozerian, an ancient, ultra-powerful, apocalyptic entity first worshipped by the Hittites and the Mesopotamians, that, basically from Abraham's time.
Crazy.
And who founded and led a secret society in 1920. Actually, the Abraham bought Machpelah, Mare HaMachpelah, from the Hittites, if you recall. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, but the Hittites are actually from the Turkish area. They weren't local to Israel, but they had taken that territory.
Yeah,
Okay.
It wouldn't be the first time. Okay. Well, it was the first time the Turks took over.
Yeah. So the members of the Gozerian cult. What did you say?
Wouldn't be the last.
It wouldn't be the last, yeah. Fortunately. The members of the Gozerian cult were the original occupants of the apartment building, which Shandor had devised as a modern-day ziggurat. According to Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, they studied Shandor's original blueprints. If you recall that scene in the jail, remember when they were arrested?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole building is a huge superconductive antenna that was designed and built expressly for the purpose of pulling in and concentrating spiritual turbulence. That's a quote from the movie. Wow. The cult of Gozer performed bizarre rituals on the roof after its completion. The actual building was built in 1929, seeking to summon Gozer, the destructor and the end of the world. Since Ghostbusters first hit theaters, 55 Central Park West has been known as the Ghostbusters building. It was portrayed much taller and with the rooftop temple via the 8 floors that were added to the exterior shots of it via the summon ghost. Okay, the destructor, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So check this out. So obviously, they added a lot to the script, but basically you have an Eastern European man involved in science, well known, okay, who was designing a building with or designing at least a part of a building with all sorts of strange alloys, metallic alloys, okay, for receiving and transmitting signals. Okay, so what's very interesting is that also, in the movie they're trying to summon some entity, right? And Tesla believed that the information that he was receiving in visions were from some entities from some other dimension.
Can I mention something to what you're saying? I just got something that came across the wires. Gerald Wittenstein, the legendary veteran of NASA, CEO of International Space Systems, is making Aliyah to Israel. Watch how Delta said goodbye. He's on a Delta flight. I'm looking at his LinkedIn, Gerald Wittenstein. I love the space program and still am able to contribute to it and doing so. I want to help send men back to the moon and if time permits, on to Mars. Because I guess he's older now. Okay, so experience. From June 1961 until March 2012, aerospace flight mechanics, orbital mechanics, generated 3 and 6 trajectories, including the Apollo 11 lunar landing mission. He's a Balshuva guy, including the flight crew pre-flight briefing led by Neil Armstrong. Also performed plus or minus 3 sigma dispersion analysis. I don't even know what that is. Aerospace Engineer Branch Chief, 1961 and 1986, National Marshall Space Flight Center. Crazy. University of Alabama, Huntsville, Engineering, MA.
Huntsville, University of Alabama, Huntsville, that's where all the Nazis from Project Paperclip were sent.
Crazy. So, the guy, I still direct the technical effort to flight dynamics, guidance system expertise, and IGM from Apollo program as applicable to the Ares program and now the SLS. Also via use, I don't know, he wrote something weird. Rocket equation perform V, I don't know, it's hard to read what he's writing. I still integrate ISSI technical work. I also serve as a NASA senior advisor at NASA. Interesting. He speaks Hebrew and some German. Germany, trade and invest interests. Interesting. Gerald Wittenstein made Aliyah. Frum guy, as you can see in this video that I'm watching. He's wearing a kippah.
How does that connect to what we were talking about?
I mean, you're talking about the dude Tesla getting stuff from another dimension. And now we got this dude making Aliyah, and then we had this other dude talking about he's already retired, but he's talking about like some galactic federation, talking to Trump and stuff like that.
Oh, you want to hear the Trump connection?
Yes.
To Tesla?
No.
Bro.
Please do.
After he died, Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Supposedly.
He spoke to Trump's grandfather?
No, Trump's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
His name was John Trump. He worked, I think, in national security. He was a scientist.
Yeah.
All the trunks with Tesla's diagrams and all of his writings, they went to him.
I'm on pbs.org right now. So listen to this. Dr. John G. Trump, an electrical engineer with the National Defense Research Committee of the Office of Scientific Research and Development, was called in to analyze the Tesla papers in OAP custody. Following a 3-day investigation, Dr. Trump concluded his thoughts and efforts during these past 15 years were primarily of a speculative, philosophical, and somewhat promotional character, often concerned with the production and wireless transmission of power, but did not include new, sound, workable principles or methods for realizing such results. That's what this Ledouche said. Let's see something else. Here you go. How Tesla, Nikola, and Donald Trump are all connected. This is an article in September 2020 on Yahoo. On January 9, 1943, 2 days after Nikola Tesla died destitute in New York City hotel, the FBI called MIT professor and esteemed electrical engineer John G. Trump to determine if any of the belongings in an investor's estate, which included a purported weapons of mass destruction Tesla called a death ray, would be dangerous if they fell into enemy hands. After a 3-day investigation, Trump, in fact, the late uncle of Donald J. Trump, determined there was no risk. It turned out that Tesla never actually made his death ray. Still, the mystery and exaggerated claims, along with the soaring success and failures associated with Tesla, an eccentric Serbian American polymath futurist, continue to be played out today on a scale that only he could have imagined. Two high-profile electric vehicle companies, one named after the inventor's last name, Tesla, headed up by Musk, very much an intellectual descendant of the inventor, and another, Nikola, which actually turned out to be a fraud, after his first name, would both be creating huge waves in headlines, though for different reasons, 80 years later, seems to be beyond. Yet for those who have believed in the man and his vision, maybe it isn't so surprising. It's also the case that Tesla, brash, successful, and Nikola, speculative and troubled, both reflect facets of his namesake. It's perhaps poetic that Tesla's Musk sometimes spars with and sometimes emulates Professor Trump's nephew, the President of the United States. Here's a bit more on Nikola Tesla, a visionary who among countless other inventions. Okay, so this gets into blah, blah, blah. So basically it just mentions this whole article about...
Yeah, by the way,
sir.
those rumors about Tesla being, all of a sudden, he was like the greatest hero of civilization, and then all of a sudden, he's crazy or he's a quack, and later on, those newspapers that were publishing that about him were owned by J.P. Morgan and his buddies.
Yeah, terrible. Even my cat has something to say about this. Interesting. This John G. Trump guy. Listen to this. During the war, Trump also served in the Advisory Specialist Group on Radar, advising U.S. Air Force General Carl Spaatz on navigational radar, precision bombing radar, and also defenses against the German radars found in their night fighters and their flak units. The systems included G, Obo, Loran, H2X, Mu, SCR-584. Trump worked with all the most important British radar experts, including Sir Robert Watson-Watt, A.P. Rowe, and Bernard Lovell. At the end of the war, Trump also conducted debriefing interviews with Germany's main radar technicians. Trump received recognition for his war work partnership from both the United States and the United Kingdom. Interesting. Trump... In 1946, Trump, Robert J. Vandergraaf, and Dennis M. Robinson initiated the High Voltage Engineering Corporation, HVEC, to produce Vandergraaf generators. He returned to MIT to teach and direct research for 3 decades after the war. He directed the MIT High Voltage Research Laboratory from 46 to 80. Some of the research at MIT concentrated on treating wastewater. He researched using an electron beam from a high voltage accelerator as a deactivating agent in the treatment of municipal wastewater sludge. I wonder where he got that from. High Voltage Research Laboratory developed a prototype system that was tested in one of Boston's wastewater treatment plants, and it was able to provide bacterial and viral disinfection via continuous online treatment. It's interesting, they say that Schmovit is, comes from, what do they call it? Aerosol, no, through your toilet, so to speak. You know what I'm talking about, right? Interesting. Yeah, he married Elora Sauerbrunn. They had 3 children, late John Gordon Trump of Watertown, Massachusetts, late Christine Philp of New London, New Hampshire, and Karen Ingram of Los Alamos, New Mexico. And 6 grandchildren. Interesting. What do we know that's in Los Alamos, New Mexico?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's where they do a lot of testing of all sorts of interesting types of things.
Manhattan Project.
Obviously associated with...
Manhattan Project.
Yeah, but more than that, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Reverse engineering of certain things, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Blah.
Some stuff.
Things and stuff.
Things here.
His nephew is Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States, who founded, and I'm just adding here my own thing, Space Force. He didn't found it, but,
I think that was all just a coincidence.
You think so?
Yeah, sure.
Things and stuff.
That happens every now and then,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, people found, military wings of a country that's meant to be fighting not on this planet. Every day that happens.
Yeah, I've heard things like that happen.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
I think it happens from time to time.
Well, we are 2 hours and 43 minutes in, my friend, technically speaking.
Did we talk about everything? I'm not sure.
I mean, what else would we want to talk about?
Should I finish the Kavanot of 42?
Is that going to be... How long is that going to take?
Should take about 10 minutes.
Okay, fine. Finish that.
Okay, let me finish
him. Excellent.
Finish him.
Babality.
Scorpion wins. Thursday.
We have so much garbage in our heads. It's astounding.
If we use it right, we can do great things. We're trying to.
Yes.
Thursday, Chakav Tana. Mm-hmm. Okay, the 5th line of the prayer, when you take the first letters of all the words, of all the 6 words on the 5th line of the prayer, then you get Hakav Tana. Okay? So these 6 letters form an acronym, which is Chotem, Ketz, okay, Bo, Tamun. Venistar Ayin, the seal of the end in which is hidden the 72-letter sacred name of Hashem. Okay? So there are 2 types of seals. You have a Chotem Shoka'al, right, a receding seal, and then you have a Chotem Bolet, a protruding seal, right, kind of like a relief. For example, if one were to seal with wax and the letters of the seal are hollow, the letters on the wax will protrude. Yeah? If the letters of the seal protrude, the impression on the wax will be hollow. Inwardly speaking, when there is arousal from below, we are a protruding seal, bringing ourselves to outward creativity and a sense of self. And there is a recession above. The light which is reflected is dimmed.
Yeah.
However, when we enter into a state of receding seal, which is hod, right, humility, or bitul, nullification of separation from the ego, we generate the deepest hidden lights to be unclothed and unrevealed. Let me read that again. However, when we enter into a state of receding seal, the receding seal, right? And then he uses the word hod, humility, tul, nullification, right? Of separate ego.
Interesting.
Okay, we generate the deepest hidden lights to be unclothed and revealed. So Thursday is the last full weekday, and the seal of the week, as Friday, is already Erev Shabbat, which is before and preparing for Shabbat. There can be a shift from an outward aggressive modality to a mood more inward and reflective, a mood of thanksgiving. The idea of hiddenness is also reflected in the creation on the 5th day, which are fish. By their very nature, fish are hidden away in the depths of the water. Hiding is generally a gesture of humility, the attribute of hod, which is related to gratitude. Angels were created on Thursday, according to one opinion in the Midrash, and their image is of singing praise and thanksgiving. That's what angels want to do. Okay, the Gemara, Rosh Hashanah 31a, tells us that the song of the day in the temple for Thursday is a chapter in Psalms that begins with, quote, "Let us sing praise to Hashem, since birds and fish were created to offer praise to his name." Okay. Rashi explains that when a person sees all the various types of birds, he offers praise to the one who created them. So Thursday is deeply connected with being grateful and offering up praise. Inwardly, the feeling connected with the week winding down is that of being grateful and, for some, a sense of relief. Thus, Thursday is the colloquial night of celebration. Well, the Hasidim, they have Farbrengen on Thursday nights. The natural tendency when a successful week comes to a close is to offer praise. Sometimes that praise can be directed at oneself, thinking it was one's own skills and genius that brought about the successes. Instead of feeling smug and arrogant like a protruding seal, we need to meditate on how everything we have in our lives is truly a gift. Even our skills and genius that we have are gifts from above. Okay? So the Kavanah on Thursday is Hod, the spirit of Hod, which we think is humility, and then also thanksgiving, giving praise. The consciousness we should try to attain is introspection, deeper insight, and gratitude. The energy is inner sight. Friday. So the acronym for Friday from the 6th line of this prayer is Yagal Pazak. Yagal means to reveal. The the pay sound in this acronym stands for Pisroni, the interpretation of revealing. Pay means mouth, by the way. The mouth reveals. The mouth speaks and reveals. Zion, it stands for Zaman, time. Okay? And Kuf stands for the Ketz, the end. Okay? So Hashem will reveal the ultimate purpose of creation during the end of time. This is the 6th day of creation in which the human being was created. The purpose of creation is potentially realized through our actions as co-creators of our creation. On Shabbat, we connect with our spiritual selves. The purpose, as during the week, we connect with our outer physical selves, which are the actions. One completes and complements the other. We move from weekday outward activity to Shabbat inward restfulness. And that's what we do on Friday. We can realize our work's purpose on this day as work is acute and Shabbat is very palpable. Friday serves to connect the word yesod, right? To connect work with rest and rest with work. Friday is the 6th day, and the 6th sphera is yesod. It's a connection. The work week is now completed. If a person finds himself or herself to be preoccupied by the workload, now is the right time, once again, to further connect with one's family, friends, and community. Friday's meditation is to bring everything we have done during the work week to its realized purpose and to become attuned and ready for Shabbat. Instead of remaining connected with work and dragging it into the home, bringing the weekday into Shabbat, which is not good. We need to channel our Yesod connections and intimacy towards inner selves and towards our family and friends. So the kavanah on Friday is we have to think of the sphere of Yesod, which is foundation. Also, it is related to intimacy and purpose. Consciousness that we should attain on this day is inward focus, inner peace, and tranquility with oneself and with one's family and friends. The energy is connecting. Okay. Now, finally, we get to Shabbat. Okay. So Shabbat this is the 7th line of this prayer. Okay. And the first letter of each word of this line, when they come together, they spell Shaku Tzis. Okay? So Shin stands for Sheish, the number 6. Yud, the letter looks like a point and stands for center of all existence. It stands for God, the point of life. The remaining 4 letters spell the word kitovos. Sorry, kat kitzovos, which means directions, actually. So Hashem is the center of all reality. Now, within the 6 directions, up, down, left, right, back, front, is the midpoint, which is Malchut. Shabbat is Malchut, the middle point of the cube, pointing to all of the outer directions. The midpoint is not a direction, as it is not a movement, or it's not a doing something. It is a state. It is a state of being, a space to come from. Interesting. Not sure what he means by that. The meditation for Shabbat is that everything revolves around Shabbat, the Yud within the cube of time, the center of time. Not only is Shabbat the culmination of the week that has passed, it is the harbinger of the week that is to come, the center of the week that passed before and the week that will follow. So we should aspire for our doing to come from a deep place of being, and our weekday should bring flow naturally from and into our Shabbat being. Okay, so the kavanah on Shabbat is Malchut, the sphere of Malchut. It is non-doing and being, because which is related to the soul level of nefesh, which we've been talking about, which is a passive state. Nefesh is a passive entity. Consciousness that we should attain on this day is being, just being, right? The eternal moment, the timeless moment, basically. It is immortality. And the energy of this day is being, just be. So, blessing after the name. After we have completed this name, which is, we're talking about the Anabakoach, right? That's, okay, which spells the name of God. Right? So, after we have completed this name, the pronouncing of the words and the visual scanning of the letters, we say, Baruch Shem, may his name be blessed. Much like we say this after pronouncing the name of Hashem. In the temple, every time the high priest was heard saying the holy name, the people responded with Baruch Shem. Today, if one of the divine names is pronounced in vain, we say Baruch Shem. The divine names in Anabakoach are connected with elevated temple consciousness. As the Gemara explains, we therefore conclude the prayer with Baruch Shem, the response given in the temple when the name of Hashem was heard. Okay, that's the end of the article.
Nice. Well,
we can leave it at that.
With that said, here we go. World Economic Forum founder Schwab calls for great narrative for humankind at the Dubai World Economic. Here. This is what he said. We are here to develop the great narrative, a story for the future. In order to shape the future, you have to first imagine it. See, Sitra Achra gets it first, man. You have to first imagine the future. You have to design the future. And then you have to execute. Here, I think the next 2 days we will look to how we imagine, how we design, how we execute great narrative, how we define the story of our world for the future. He's absolutely right. And then this woman writes, the Jewish people already has a narrative. It's a Torah and never be replaced by anything else. Neither will we add anything else to the Torah. But he has his own narrative.
But that is not, what about the nanobots? Yes. That is not in the
Wearables.
Torah. I don't think I have read the
Oh, they
Torah,
are.
and I don't see the nanobots.
The nanobots is your neshama, you idiot. Here. According to Schwab, there are 3 obstacles.
We're doomed.
Listen, there are 3 obstacles in the globalist way of shaping humanity's future. Number 1, people have become much more self-centered and to a certain extent egoistic. In such a situation, it is much more difficult to create a compromise because shaping the future, designing future usually needs a common will of the people. That's why we have to brainwash everybody in our way. Number 2, we have all become so much crisis-focused with the pandemic. Number 3, the world has become complex. Simple solution to complex problems do not suffice anymore. You made it complex, buddy. He says, you have today not any more separation between social, political, technological, ecological. It's all interwoven. Yeah. It's very difficult in such a situation to really bring everybody together and to imagine, to decide the future. This is why we must force them.
I am tired of these Jews making fun of the way that I talk. Where is the henchman that I wanted you to hire? Did you get the man with the metal jaws? Is he still in service?
Is he still alive?
Oh, too bad. We must find the large Asian man who throws the hat.
He says,
okay.
We know that the world should be more resilient. We know that the world is not inclusive enough. We know that the world is not sustainable enough, and the world is not collaborative enough. It's just never enough for this guy, is it?
What about Fat Bastard? Is Fat Bastard still working for Spectre?
Is he enough for you? Just leave everyone alone. Just leave Smeagol alone. Leave Smeagol alone.
You don't understand why he can't leave us alone. You understand that because these are parasites, right?
I know.
So the Sitra Achra doesn't have its own flow from God. It has to only siphon from us.
God.
We talked about this. They can't leave us alone.
Yeah. If they try,
we have to destroy them.
Yeah. God. In any event, I just wish. Let's end on this. Hopefully, we can get a Tesla coil and zap this guy in the balls.
this is very, this is silly. I don't understand what my balls have to do with your idea of justice. You know, if you're with your idea of justice, I should be just immediately removed from existence and without any pain or suffering.
Yes.
If you are to be consistent with the things that I have heard you say, you will not hurt me. In fact, you might even let me go.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You got the wrong religion, buddy.
You got the right. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was. Oh, yes, I got confused.
Buddhism. Sorry.
The nanobots have confused me.
All right. This is gonna be a doozy. 3 hours.
We can split it up. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make this more manageable for the folks at home.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
But for the hardcore, it's gonna be available. You can listen to it.
Skoja.
Yeah. The two knuckleheads trying to figure things out.
Yeah. All right. Man. All right. Versteh's.
Mach schnell. Papier. Hände hoch.
Hände hoch, Papieren. They're canceling it.
Papier, Juden.
And now they go back into the bushes like Homer Simpson in that JPEG. But we will get them. We will get them.
Oh, man.
Son of a bitches. Nazi bastards.
How long? I really have a very short attention span. This process is taking too long.
That's right. I agree. Where are the aliens? Hello? Aliens? Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
All right, sir. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Later.